Hello, welcome back to another episode of Dude is Drinking Beer. My name is Josh.
My name is Alec.
I'm Dariane.
This is Norman, and that's Reginald. Dariane, how do we know you? First of all, who are you, and how do we know you?
I'm Dariane. We used to work together at a terrible place.
Don't think of the cameras there.
I'm not.
Look at us. Look at us.
I am. We used to work together.
Are you not gonna have a beer though?
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. 3 dudes drinking beer.
3 dudes drinking beer.
But you're a woman.
But I'm like
she
a dude.
can be what she wants to be.
I
She's
guess.
a bro.
It's a gender neutral term.
Yeah, bro. This is a safe space.
Depending on who you talk to, yes. Some people perceive it not, but that's just my perception of how other people perceive things.
Do you want me to open that can for you so you don't break a nail, bro?
Your nails are longer than mine.
Today we're drinking Coors Banquet. It's what Dariane wanted us to drink, so...
Cheers.
She didn't sponsor it, but she picked it.
But it's here for her.
So we did work together. You worked with him first because he was there first.
Yes. And then he got you hired.
Then I got him dragged into it.
I got myself hired. I don't think anyone played influence in that. I do remember though when I was sitting there.
I really appreciate just that little
at those two people tables. Whenever you walked by, you give me the dirtiest fucking looks.
Me?
Yeah.
When you were interviewing?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You were
she
just
needs
like
to intimidate the tiny white male.
stink face and just like, who the fuck is this kid? At least that's what I thought.
I don't remember that.
I just remember a gross face whenever you looked at me or in my direction.
Wow, dude,
Okay.
she's not that ugly.
I probably was like, who's this tiny fucking gay looking motherfucker?
I'm not that small.
I was hoping to God you'd be like, I'm not that gay.
I'm not gay at all. I'm not small.
I'm a big boy.
Norman, help me out.
No.
There you have it, folks.
So you guys were friends first.
We were.
How did you?
I think we were enemies first.
Well,
that's
So-
how all my
It
relationships
was like
start.
a challenge, like who's gonna be the
Let's-
top dog.
let's break that down. So like,
All right.
well, fucking someone tell the story.
Okay. So basically, here's the main story that I remember that I think needs to be told. I remember pissing Dariane off one day.
Which is very easy to do.
So easy to do. Oh my
That's
God.
funny coming from you.
But I forgot what I did and I forgot what happened. But she was just on my ass all day, and then I would like say like shitty things back to her because I was just like at like my limit, right? And I was just like, all right, dude, like fuck you, like you're just gonna like bark ass orders all day and like. You know, I don't know. I felt away and you felt away and you're like, come back to the office. And I was like, all right. And you're like, sit down. And I was like, I'm not going to sit down because I know you're just going to yell at me. And you're like, sit down. And I was like, okay. And I sat down and you just like, you went off on me. You're like, you were the most disrespectful. You always talk back. What is your deal? This and that. And I was like, all right, bro, look, I know you don't see this, but I'm on your side. I'm on your team, right? Like, I'm the one taking all the trash when you say so. I'm the one doing this when you say so. And then you get mad at me when it doesn't happen because you ask someone else to do it. And like, I feel like all this is coming from a direction that it's like out of nowhere to me because I felt like you were literally putting so much on me because she was like the lead for the shift. So she did have the rank on me. But I was like, you're putting like so much on me. And it's like, I do everything you say, but you get mad at me when someone else doesn't do their job and you expect me to pick up the slack. And you're like, and you like broke, like I just saw like this break and you're just like, you're right, dude, I can't put up with these people. And I was like, oh shit. And then we just like had this like moment of like, I don't know, you're just like, yeah, man, these people are stupid. And I was like, I know! That's what I'm saying. And, like, for a while, I was like, I remember, I think the phrase that comes to mind is, I'm sorry I was mean, I had to make friends.
Yeah, you said that a lot.
Because I'd say something, because Dariane would tell me to do something, and I'd be like, yes, mistress, or something weird. And everyone would get a laugh. And then she didn't like it because she was the shift leader, and I was, like, the one who was, like, not taking her seriously. But I was doing my job. And it made everyone laugh, and everyone was just like, wow, Alec, you're so funny. And I was like, bitch, I know it. But but essentially it came down to like, I think those little like comments that I made when you tell me to do something, you know, wasn't the nicest, and it kind of just added up. And then eventually you're like, sit down, we need to talk. And I was like, all right. And then I was like, well, these people are stupid. And you're like, yeah, dude, I know, right? And then we started kicking it, and we're like one of the same, I think. I feel like the other story I always tell is like, someone stole something at one point, and you got taken back to get...
I don't remember any of this.
You got taken back to get questioned from Amanda. And then
black.
And then Amanda took me back to question me, and I started laughing when they're asking me questions. And she's like, what's so funny? And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm a nervous laugher. And she legit breaks down laughing, and she goes, Dariane said the same fucking shit, and we just had her in here.
LOL.
And all we ever talked about was like, Dariane's literally like the opposite of me. It's just like, I'm male, white, she's black.
Girl.
What are you?
You should have established your pronouns beforehand.
I wanted you to finish the pronoun for me.
She, her.
She, her. But like, she's like, I always say this, she's like my Lana Kane, and I love the shit out of her. And yeah,
I definitely remember all that super differently. I don't remember
I'm sure you
any
do.
of that happening. I don't even think I was a manager when you got hired.
You were definitely
was
the
in
one
the
in
kitchen.
charge, though.
I think I was in the kitchen, and they were like finessing. You know how they did that like dumb shit? They'd be like, "Oh, you're not really getting paid to do this, but you're doing this," and I'm like, "For sure."
Cross training.
They're
Yeah.
training you to do it, but they're not paying you to do it.
Yes, finessing.
Which, by the way, don't ever do that shit again to me. I learned my lesson. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Cross training is valuable, though.
Okay. Anyway.
Shut up, Josh.
I just remember I remember you always doing that. Like, you'd say some stupid shit, and I was like, who the fuck is this dude? And then you'd be like, sorry, I gotta be mean to make friends. So I was like, what the fuck?
I remember that for sure was like the thing.
I just remember one time you were like, oh, I'm just like a mean dude. And I was like, no, I don't think you are. I think you just like pretend to be mean, but you're really super soft. And you just kind of looked at me, and I was like, I got that motherfucker right there. And that's all I remember. And then we were friends. And then Josh was there all of a sudden, and then I was friends with Josh. I don't remember any of the
I'm
other
surprised
shit.
that's all you remember, dude. I
don't remember anything else.
Because I remember like the first 2 months I worked there, I felt like you just fucking hated me.
You antagonized the fuck out of me. I remember
sure
that.
did,
That's
yeah.
all I remember.
I sure did.
And
but
then
like,
next thing I know, we're friends. That's nothing else in between there.
well, what was the actual time? Because I remember we just got a beer and hung out. It was definitely after that time you sat me down and was like, you're so fucking rude, you're disrespectful. And I was like, yeah? But I do my job and no one else does. I'm like, oh, we're on the same team. And I was like, I gave you some spiel, and you're just like, yeah, dude, you're right. They are fucking dumb.
And they were.
And they were.
No offense.
Still are.
They still are. But I remember like that was the moment for me, and I was like, we need to hang out more. I think I might have said that at some point. I was like, let's grab a beer or something like that.
Probably. I don't remember sitting you down except for the one time where I was like, hey, I know we're friends, but like you have to still do what I say when we're at work together.
No, this was before we were friends.
Then
I remember that time too.
just, none of it. I don't remember shit.
I remember that time too.
I
but
remember making pizzas
you were
and
mad.
hating that shit
you
all
yelled
the
at me.
time.
Yeah.
Well, you probably fucking deserved it, so you're welcome.
I won't say I didn't.
Here we are now.
My goal was to make friends, and I got one.
And look what I did.
And look
Mom.
what happened. Look what I did. I did it. That was my goal. I set out. I achieved it.
And that's that. And then
How do you know? Josh, how
I
do
don't
you know
remember
it?
how we became friends. I think.
I mean, mugged him, and it was just fate from there.
I mean, I did start working there after Alec, like probably 4 months after.
Actually, almost exactly 4 months after.
Yeah. So I mean, I was.
Because you were
there.
working with your grandma at that time, right? Or just a little bit after? Or?
It was after that. It was like 2016. Yeah, around that time, like the spring, summer. And so, I mean, yeah, you were my leader, my shift lead.
So she was a shift lead by the time you came on.
Yes. And then it was also around that time when Amanda became the district manager as well, when she left us. And then Oxnard closed too, so we got all of them. And that kind of...
PTSD.
That was the downfall of it all, bro.
That ruined the dynamic. And then...
That really was.
They were big fucking babies. Fuck you guys if you're out there.
Yeah, fuck all you.
Turbo just got married.
Really?
Yes, him
That's
and
what I'm
Sumari
saying.
got married.
Except for Sumari, I freaking love you. You're the best. But you're not from Oxnard, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. Who did I like from Oxnard? There was like 2 people I thought were like okay from Oxnard.
Brittany.
No. No.
Oh my god, from the depth of my memory.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Like, Josh will say shit sometimes, and you just remember it, and you're like, ugh,
I feel like there's a reason I forgot.
the monster from the deep.
We had Carlos, Kirsty, Brittany, Turbo, and Martine.
Carlos was from our store first, though, and then he went there, and then he got shipped back when they fucking closed.
I didn't know that, but he came from Oxnard. To us.
That's it? I thought there was more.
I think a lot of them quit.
I think
like,
there was another girl, but she was too irrelevant for me to remember.
random
Yeah,
people
there
that
was
were there
some-
for like a week or 2 or 3.
Yeah,
or something, and
yeah,
they're
yeah. Those were the cool people, because they probably just realized their worth and were like, I'm out.
like- they probably were like, I don't like these Camarillo bitches. Fuck you guys.
Probably, for sure.
Too many white people.
We're
And then they were
we're a
gone.
different breed.
Dude, I couldn't imagine driving as I do it, like, present day, I couldn't imagine driving all the way from Oxnard to Camarillo for work, though.
It's not that
For
bad.
Pizza Rev, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah,
But
you
Amanda
guys, you
drives
guys,
all the way from
you guys
Ventura.
both commuted for a minute.
To Pizza Rev?
Yeah, well, I know he did.
I did it for 3 weeks.
Didn't you? Well, you did it. You did it when you
I
were
did it
in
from
LA
here to Studio City.
and to Westlake for a little bit.
A total of 3 weeks I commuted.
But I thought you did it too. Didn't you go to TO or some point?
Yeah,
I know
they had
TO's
me
not
at TO
that
for
far,
a
but
year.
How did you get to transfer to TO?
I didn't get to transfer. You fuckers. You
yo,
got us in trouble. You got the
It
boot.
was all your fault.
okay.
You got
okay.
the boot, and then they were like, "You must have done something too." And I was
Can
like,
we-
"The
can
fuck
we
is
talk
here?"
about that?
Let's talk
Because-
about
We
it.
were a clique that needed to be dealt with.
Here's my takeaway. My girlfriend at the time, who, please don't name her.
Don't even remember her name.
Good. She was. I told you the story. Josh leans in front of eye contact. I'm pretty sure I told you guys everything that there
Yes.
is to know about
Yes.
that relationship. It was ending, and we were breaking up. And what I remember was she was like mad, and we were fighting, and she was like, "Kiss me," and I was like, "No, we're at work." And she was like, "Kiss me," and I was like, "I don't want to," and she's like, "Do it," and I did. And it was right in the office where the cameras were. And in the back of my mind to this day, I'm like, yo, she probably just told management I was like sexually harassing her, and showed them this footage or whatever. Meanwhile, we were dating, but she used the angles of the camera to be like,
So you gotta do it in a blind spot.
sure. But I was just like pussy whip boyfriend who was like, I don't want to kiss you. Do it. I'm mad at you, and it'll make me feel better. It's like, fine. But anyway, that happened, and then, like, the next week, it was all weird. Everything was weird, and I knew something was up, and then I got fired. And I was only told it was for bothering coworkers.
For bothering. You pissed off a lot of people.
Everybody.
Yeah.
All
People
right,
be
well,
like, Alex, such a fucking dick. And I'm like,
Well, that's-
yeah, but you just don't get it.
that's my perspective, but also they put me in charge of those people.
yeah.
They told me
You were a shift lead in training.
they
That's not even shit.
a slit.
Fuck! I put the SH of shift. Sorry, I've had some to drink.
You're a schlit.
My point being is I felt backstabbed because one of my girlfriend at the time, but two because the company that put me in charge was like, hey, we put you in charge and everyone's mad at you, and it's like, no shit, I'm telling them what to do every day, and you haven't given me an official promotion to like solidify authority.
Yeah. Then you were a dick.
But then you can take it from my perspective.
Because I was the same rank as them.
No, it's because you talk shit and you think it's a joke. And, like, if you know you, it's a joke, but they don't know you. And they're like, this motherfucker.
Because when I became a shift lead, I had Oscar was still at the store at the time, and so I asked him to do a little bit of reconnaissance. Because when I was there, I tried to be cool with everybody. I wasn't trying to make friends. It just kind of happened if it did. And I didn't want people to not like me, because as I was
Qualities of a good leader.
as a people pleaser, like I mean, when I was still there, that was peak of the Camarillo store. Like, sales were the highest, everything was the best, lowest numbers, everything, like food cost wise, lowest numbers. And so he got back to me and said that only one person didn't like me. I still don't know who it is. I think it's Martine. Fuck you, Martine. Not Raul's Martin. You're cool, I guess.
Obviously.
So there are different ways to lead, and people can still like you, case in point, and people can hate you, case in point. You still may be doing a good job. I know I did. I remember you leading.
The one thing that I was told time and time again is that my food costs were high. But again, at the end of the day, it's one of those things. I never received training or even was told what food cost was. So it's like, how can you expect me to perform?
You gotta ask questions.
Also, their food cost was fucking stupid. I've been explaining this to people recently because I remember one time they sat me down and did this like fucking pie chart, and they were like, "This is a pizza. This is our profit. This much goes into food sales, and we make like $2 for every pizza we sell, and that's only if it's a double dough. If it's a single dough, we make $1.18." And I was like, "This sounds like a terrible business plan."
It was.
Like,
Because
you don't
all the money
make
goes into cheese
money.
and labor.
You don't make shit. Yeah, all the money was literally cheese.
Cheese is more important than you. Cheese costs more than you.
It literally did.
Cheese cost more than labor.
And that just sounded like
That just-
unintelligent.
Yeah, that's just the worst business plan ever. Like,
It is really fucking good though. When you're shredding the cheese and you get the
I mean,
logs.
the cheese was really
you
good.
get the logs
and the
after.
cookie and the
There
cookies
you
were
go.
really good
There's
too.
your fucking sales. Josh was eating the logs of cheese while he was under your supervision.
I was. Everyone was. I'd pass them around and be like, I'd bake cookies too. And be like, I'd give people like, here's a chocolate chip cookie, here's a log of cheese, take a bite of the cheese, take a bite of cookie, take a bite of cheese. And it's the best combination ever.
That sounds terrible.
So you sound
salty
like
and
the
sweet.
reason her and I had a downfall.
I did this.
You motherfucker.
I started-
Working some black op shit.
I started doing this in studio, not in Camarillo.
Alright, but
When I had free range.
Anyway,
yeah.
Alec was let go. I was shipped off, and they were like, "Josh, you're,
get to
you're
stay
on probation
here.
too,
You
but
want a
we're gonna
promotion?"
promote you." And I was like, "For fucking sure."
Here's the thing, they promoted him and he was like, well, then they want to give you a raise and you're like, no.
That was because of my review. My review raise.
You want to know a funny story about when Jared gave me my review?
Yes.
He gave me 5s. No, he gave me 4s and everything. And he's like, I only give 4 excuse me. I only give 4s because I don't think it's perfection. I don't think anyone's perfect. There's always room for improvement. And I was 4s down the board, dude. Blah 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 blah. And then one of them was a 1. Guess what that was?
I don't know.
What?
Working with coworkers.
LOL. He
Nice.
said, "You a bitch."
He said every time I ask you to do something, you get it done on time. Every time there's a requirement, you meet it. Every time this, you do it. Every time that, you do it. Everything's perfect. Everything's literally a 4. But when you interact with your coworkers, there's some issues. He gave me a fucking 1.
He
And
said, "Be nice." They keep going home and crying.
that's
But I got a 4 in every other aspect.
Out of 5?
Out of 5. In
I-
every other aspect.
that's the one dude I would listen to because
Jared was the...
he was
I was
the
like, I was
sweetest
like,
dude,
Jared's the dude I fuck with. Jared,
and he kept it the realest.
Jared, man, I wish you the fucking best, dude.
He's high as fuck all the time. Doesn't matter.
But no, but he's the realist, like for
yes.
real. But I mean, you're okay.
You're not high all the time.
No.
Yeah. If you were high or drunk all the time, you'd be the realist because you could keep it together. But he was high all the time and he kept it together.
Scoot over in his truck, smoke some weed, come into work,
Mm-hmm.
fucking space out counting a drawer. Don't know how he got to 200 every time. Just
Because he took his time, bro. He wasn't in a rush.
I would lose count.
But that's the thing, man. Like Jared was a solid dude.
Yeah. He invited us over to his house.
Yeah, dude, we
numerous
partied with him.
times. Numerous times.
Anyway,
Pizza Hut was alright. It was actually some of my most fun 3 years I've ever had.
for sure the best job I ever. No, I mean, not anymore. Sorry. I mean,
Having
I'm
spent
living my life now.
3 years, 1 year at a different store.
That's so long. That seems like so long.
It is. It's a long time, but it's also not enough time to develop like
You're right.
relationships at a store.
That's the crazy thing is like 3 years is a long time, but you're so right. Like, it's not enough time.
Because 1 year at a store, like 1 year at Camarillo, I learned everything. I learned the basics, and then I started management. Studio City for a year.
We should talk about Dariane more. Sorry.
No, I like hearing about you guys.
I don't know, dude. I feel like...
Anyway, I went up to Thousand Oaks for a year for punishment for what Alec did. I didn't do anything. They were like,
fun there?
They were like,
Let her get
no,
it- let her
I
get it
didn't
off her
have
chest,
fun there.
bro.
That was terrible. It was
Kelly
a terrible
was
time.
fun.
Huh?
Kelly?
Who's Kelly?
You don't know Kelly? Sorry. That's my era.
Who's Kelly?
I don't remember any names.
She works at T.O.
Okay. Anyway, I worked
Whatever,
at TO
dude.
for a year because Alec and I were bullying somehow.
So here's the thing that I always thought. I was like, you had the title of shift leader. I didn't, right?
Right.
So
But they still had you closing the store. Like, they gave you the keys one night, and they're like, log up, and you're like, okay.
they gave me the key, and they gave me Amanda and Jared's password to use to turn off the alarm when I opened and closed, bro. I was literally running the store, but they
Yes.
fired me because I was just a crew member. If I had your title, if we had the same title, maybe they would have just relocated me too, which would have been better.
because you were dating a crew member, you would have had to, like, bounce. You can't be a
Yeah.
manager
It doesn't matter.
and date your crew member.
But I wasn't.
You
but
can't date anyone in your store unless
you-
you're two crew members.
which I
Doesn't
was.
matter. Personal
Yeah,
experience.
but if you had my title,
Sure, but they didn't
You
give me.
would have
They
had
didn't
to
give me the
go.
title because they knew I was dating her. They didn't know we were dating.
no, but I'm saying they found out eventually, like before all of that.
sure,
And you would have had to bounce if you had the real title
which would have been fine.
because you wouldn't have gotten fired.
It depends on your
Sure.
DM
What?
and how they.
I
District
mean,
manager.
no, it's the policy. It was of the company
And
that no longer exists.
They still exist, just as franchises.
Just franchises,
Yeah, but
which
not the
means not the
corporate.
company.
Corporate's in the mist because fucking like 20 episodes
Because
ago.
somehow they got a job.
20 episodes ago, I texted Matt and I asked him like how he's doing, like how's the family, how are the twins, the cute little babies.
How's his hot wife?
I
right?
assume they're doing well. And I was like, how are you doing? Like, what's up? Like, and he was like, I'm super busy with like Pizza Rev stuff. And I was like, I thought they all closed. And he didn't respond back. Because I think he was trying to get like inside information. But so apparently corporate Pizza Rev still exists.
Mm.
They might be planning stuff post COVID.
They're making moves they don't want to tell you about.
Wow, it's exciting. I should stop saying anything I have to say. I worked at Thousand Oaks for a year, and that was a terrible experience. A lot of life-shaping,
You got a lot of-
traumatic experiences, and
got
then
friends out of it.
But I met one of my greatest friends outside of you guys. I got them from
Aw.
one store. I got Jenny from the other store, and Zoe because
Jenny
of
from the
Jenny.
block.
Jenny from the block, and I'm still friends with like one other person from there. Kind of, we're like Insta friends. You know, so it's not
Aaliyah?
real. No.
You're not friends with Leah?
She said no.
I'm not friends with Aaliyah. I'm just not friends with Aaliyah. Like we
when
didn't keep
like
in touch.
like when I'd call you while I'm not there, and then she would be there, and you'd be like, "Oh my god, hi!"
Yeah, she was like my child,
Yeah.
and then she like.
And people hate their children. Fun fact.
I just think like people will be like, oh my god, but then they hate you, and I'm like, if you hate me, just hate me and leave me alone. That's okay. You
at
don't
least
have
the people.
to like me.
At least the people who hated me, and it showed on my
you
fucking.
made sure they did.
I don't think she was that kind of person, but I only knew her for a year.
I mean, I only knew her for a year. I think she's nice and sweet. I still have her on like Snapchat or some shit like that. But
Yeah, I have like all of my past coworkers' numbers.
yeah,
You
I
ever just,
delete
like-
that shit right quick.
I never go through my contacts, and every time I like end up in there, it's a fucking trip.
Yeah.
I just don't recognize it. There's people to this day that I see and I'm like, who the fuck? And I keep notes because in college I exchanged like numbers with a lot of like musicians and shit, and it'll be like so and so guitar player. I'll be like, oh, delete.
I got pizza icons next to them.
Yeah, me too.
I did that, yeah.
Pizza Row was my worst job I've ever had.
Really?
At least top two. There's only one other job where I was like coaching basketball, and that dude was a fucking prick. He was terrible. He intentionally underpaid me, and he kept me on his staff, like not to help develop me as a basketball coach, like just as a favor. And he could have just said like no, because I did want to develop as a coach, and he just fucking ruined. I never coached again after that because that dude was a piece of shit.
Would you ever get back into coaching?
No.
That's the thing too,
Played
man. It's
basketball,
like
right?
I did. I played forever from I don't know, probably like third grade till like high school. I can't play anymore. I got a bum knee. That shit hurted.
Damn. How'd you hurt your knee?
Playing basketball.
Was it this one?
Yeah, it actually. Yeah, no, I heard it. I got surgery.
G.
I got surgery on it my freshman year, and then I played like 2 or 3 more seasons on it, and that's just. They told me I'm gonna need a knee replacement when I'm like 30.
Did you like
What?
tear your like meniscus, ACL, or something?
I tore my meniscus and I strained my MCL. So they took out.
Eggs over my hammy.
What?
Your hamstring is quads over your hammy.
Doesn't matter.
You're welcome for that. I hope you passed that test.
What?
And you dropped out of the class. Peace.
Anyway. I tore my meniscus, and normally they let you like repair, like it heals over time.
They
Yes.
normally let
But
you
they
repair
took
it.
out like 80% of mine.
Oh, so
What
you're
the-
fucked.
like a
And
surgery?
basically what they do, what your meniscus is, it's like the cushion between your 2 bones.
They
And I
love
let
So
you
when you
squat
walk,
me?
like it doesn't go like that. It
God.
cushions it, but now mine just does that. So
Sorry.
I have early onset arthritis. It hurts, but I mean, there's ways to maintain it and manage it. It's not
That's
that
why
bad.
you didn't get down to my dog's level to pet him.
Yes, I'm an old woman.
Nice.
Jesus, man.
She broken.
You're also
She broken. For real.
You are a college student, and you're
I
studying kinesiology.
I am.
Kinesthetics.
What's
Yeah.
that like? Because we took a kinesiology course.
Which one did you take? What?
Probably
what
the
was the
one-
overview?
Any class I've taken with Josh, he's dropped out of. So,
Even that exercise one, right?
yeah. That's what
That
that's
was
what we were
the
just talking
kinesiology
about.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
It was body conditioning and fitness.
Mhm.
So it was basically PE.
PE.
How fun! I love PE. It was my favorite class.
Well, yeah, you're a sporty person. You're sporty, spice.
I loved that. That was so good.
It's 2 gays sitting with each other
2 gays sitting 6 feet apart.
Because they are gay.
in a hot tub.
Hold on, I just want to take a moment and just, Darian, I miss the fuck out of you, man. It's so good to see you. I
I
love
miss
you
you
to,
guys.
I love you to death, man. And it's so fucking good to see you twice in a week. It's been magical. Thank you so much
Yes,
for being here.
It's been like Disneyland.
I really just gotta say that. Like,
So, I'm sorry, I'm going to make this about me again.
go ahead.
Is this what it was like when I lived, like, far the fuck away whenever I came out?
No.
Hold on,
Granted,
pause.
so when I lived in North Hollywood, granted towards, like, the end, I came out every weekend because I hated my home life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, she lives out where I lived,
Not anymore.
still far away in the valley.
Okay.
About,
I
like,
lived in the
a solid
valley.
40-minute drive.
It's like 20 or 30, but
Oh, nice.
come visit.
I can. That's doable.
Shit, I'm free.
And so,
I
like,
did.
whenever I came out, we'd all make like an effort to get together.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'd be away for the rest of the week. Like, you never see me
Mm-hmm.
until, like, the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So is that, like, kind of like a similar feeling?
Yeah.
Much more special with me.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, we never fucking see you
it's
because
been-
you have
it's-
other friends. He doesn't.
Yeah, it's true. You guys are my only friends. Don't leave me. It is true. It's like, you know when Oscar comes down from San Diego,
And
like,
it's special.
It's special. It was special with you too, but you still came back every week.
Yeah, because I hated my home life.
And I'm not trying to like take away from like
No, and I understand.
the fact that you
I was
know
here,
you're special.
I was
and,
here often.
Yeah, because for me, it felt like you were never gone. Because if I could see you once a week, bro, you might as well be in town.
Saw you once a week so far. Keep it up.
Yeah.
You guys can meet me that way. I live in a house. Come visit. See the dog. See the kitten.
We met you
Not the
out there
cat.
once.
She's
I'm
not nice.
Shit.
I'm
What are you
allergic to
doing
cats.
Friday?
I'm carving pumpkins with some friends.
So gay.
No, I do
I love that
Edward
you have
pumpkin hands every year.
What the fuck is pumpkin
You
hands?
It's like 40 hands?
You tape for you
Yo,
tape
are we gonna do 40
pumpkins-
hands?
You tape pumpkin beers to
We
your.
should have done 40
Let
hands.
me tell the motherfucking story.
Do you remember when we did 40 hands?
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, we
For
did
you
it.
was
guys,
so
I'm
much-
the only one who did it.
We also did it for my going away.
Anyway, we do Edward pumpkin hands, which is we tape pumpkin
get
beers
a
to
beer?
our hands. We drink me too, please. Thanks so much. And then we tape.
Hashtag me too, please.
So fucking.
Oh my god, I'm gonna.
So you've
I
been
gotta
raped.
tweet that. No,
So you can't.
I want to be raped. Me too,
Oh,
please.
God, no.
Put it in my butthole.
Canceled.
In the outdoor.
Probably.
So you drink. It's with pumpkin beers.
We drink pumpkin beers, la 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 la, and then we fucking carve the pumpkins.
So the pumpkins probably look like shit.
I
You want
mean, I've got pretty decent hand-eye coordination when I'm not sober.
Well, they probably don't make
For the
pumpkin
folks who
beers
don't know,
in 40 ounces.
You're lefty.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to say, Josh.
I'm left-handed.
They probably don't make pumpkin beers that big.
No.
Unless you go to like a brewery that does it special.
A brewery.
Because like, there's a brewery I follow. It's in fucking El
I miss
Segundo.
you so much.
Where they make like specific video game based beers. And they sell like their 32 ounce growlers. So I'd assume unless you get it special from a brewery.
No, I mean, you can go to Total Wine. They've got like a really big selection, or Bevmo. # not spons.
Not spons.
I've always wanted to do that. They have a pretty like big selection. They'll have like seasonal ones, and they've got like pumpkin ones from like different sizes, flavors, percents.
Never had a pumpkin beer.
Well, I tried that pumpkin beer today, but look where we are.
I mean, you,
Motherfucker, you
we
got to
coulda-
pick.
We could have made it happen.
No, I don't want that much
I would have
pumpkin
got
beer.
I was
anything
gonna say,
for you.
I was gonna say though, like I probably wouldn't like it. Coors
Yeah,
was definitely
terrible.
a good move. Yeah.
I still
No one
would've
else will let me drink. They're like, you like Coors? I'm like, no, bitch, I'm broke, and I like to drink a lot. Fuck you.
Naturalized.
The prodigal daughter has returned.
Anyway, that's what I'm doing Friday. This week.
All right. Well, let's figure out some time to hang out.
Come to me.
I'll come up,
Don't be a stranger. That's what everyone says.
Darian. I'm saying right now, I'll come up.
That's what
I
everyone
did.
says before they become a stranger.
It's a good saying though. Like I mean,
Like
It
the
is.
person
It's a
saying
great
it becomes a
saying.
stranger, or the other one.
Either or.
Here's the
It's a
thi-
two-sided
here's
street.
the thing. I think the person saying that is really not desperate, but they're really saying like, I want you to hit me up.
Sorry, Nick.
Okay.
It's not my brother. It's a different Nick.
Oh,
Okay. Well, sorry, Nick.
Sorry, Nick.
bud.
That's rough, buddy.
Eventually. I'll get around to it.
I'm just saying, like, if Darian, how many times have we said goodbye, and every time I'm just like, I know you're on your own path, like on some cheese, on some cheese shit.
Hurry up and graduate so you can come back out
Hold
here.
up, chill. I'm like, I know you're on your own path. You're doing you. Like, you inspire me, and I'm in your corner
Every time.
every time. I will never tell you don't be a stranger because I know that's not the relationship we have. We are not strangers. I really feel like a kindred spirit,
Yeah.
one and the same.
Big words.
It's the truth though,
That's college.
and I feel that with like.
He doesn't go to college.
Well, you wouldn't know because you don't show up to the classes you guys are in together. So
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
See, Darren, I need you in my life.
How to DJ and PE. Wow. Academics.
I love how you could break it down to just 4 letters. DJPE.
that'd be a good DJ name though.
DJPE.
You're just like
It would
super
actually-
fucking fit.
It would actually.
That would be. Yeah. They'd have to be shredded.
Anyway, back to your original question: what kinesiology looks like? We'll always come back to each other. Yes, I think if you value someone,
And that's-
you'll make the effort whenever you can.
And that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing, honestly, with Oscar. It's like, yo, dude, I know you're grinding out in San Diego, and like I know you need me to an extent, but I also know that you need to be alone to an extent, and like focus on you. I'll always be here, man. We'll figure it out. You and me and Oscar. Some bonds can't be severed.
Yeah,
Some bonds are in blood.
Josh, we might have to leave behind for this kind of shit.
If
but-
you want to, I mean,
I'm
and
just hanging out with
Nah.
Norman.
I'll leave it up to a council vote.
He's hanging out with Norman.
But
can't get rid of Joshy.
no, we need him.
Dashua.
Dashua.
Hashtag we're gonna get tattooed.
Yeah, I said on the finger. She said, no, it's going to bleed.
It blows out. I'm
It
not
is-
talking
it
about
is
bleeding. It
invalid.
blows out. They they don't
shit.
do it there. Just get it on your forehead. Don't be a pussy. Anyway, back to kinesiology. It's like the science of movement. So there's a lot of different
Wax on,
shit
wax off.
that you could do. Like it's like physical therapy. It's like
Which is what you
people-
want to do.
Yeah, it's like people who go into coaching like professional or college teams. They get a degree in that typically. It has to do with like science of sports and movement typically.
Would you say kinesiology falls in the realm of like chiropractic?
Chiropractic is a false medicine.
Yeah, he's correct.
I wanted to get the kinesiology majors.
Well,
opinion.
you know, I don't know shit about chiropractic practices.
I know a lot about chiropractic.
But One of my teachers did say, like, he's like, I don't like that. It's not a real science, and if you're not licensed to do it, it's illegal what they do.
Yes.
Really?
You can, like, paralyze and kill people and shit like that.
But on the other hand, it works, but it's still kind of sketch. So I've been going to a chiropractor because my mom used to do billing for chiropractics, like when we lived in Arizona, and so I've been going since I was like fucking
A wee lad.
5 or 6, like a young kid, and just getting my spine like aligned. And
Bars.
I had like a perfect curve, and my neck was perfect, and now
Banana.
it grows out to the right at like a 36-degree angle.
That's a large angle.
That's a huge angle.
Yeah, my head is crooked. And so
Yeah, remember that photo where your neck's all fucked up?
yeah, it's in the garage.
Do you think that's possible because of the chiropractic?
No, it's
treatments?
that's just how it grew instead. I mean, if you don't like keep up with stuff, like it'll get out of hand.
Hashtag fake science.
It's not fake science. It's just it's
Dude, you are funneling the fuck out of Norman right now.
sorry.
He said, I
It's
need a connection.
it's
I know.
ho-
Do you want a hug, bro?
no. It's holistic medicine. It's the same thing as like healing crystals and and smoking weed as a prescription for pain.
No, the fact that you
No,
just
I
put
think there's like a science to weed. Like they could track.
there's for sure
it's still
science
holistic
to weed.
medicine.
Yeah, but it's still scientific.
It's like eating herbs and grass. It's
The
like,
fact
just
that
make
you
feel
put
better.
crystals in the same fucking category,
Holistic medicine.
shame on you.
It's holistic. Anything
Which
that,
loses its credibility so fast.
anything that comes from home medicine is holistic.
Is that what it means?
But you've been to a chiropractor when you got in your car accident, and it makes you feel so good.
yeah, because they also give you massages and shock therapy. Zap.
I never got that, but fucking.
I did. My muscles were fucked.
So like, I love chiropractors. They make you feel really good. The cracks are satisfying. It releases a lot of tension. Have you ever been to a chiropractor?
No. I'll
Would you ever
pass.
go?
No.
Are you afraid?
Yeah,
They're
what
gonna
the
break
fuck?
your neck.
First of all, I don't like people touching me. So strike one. Oh wow, we're moving so fast.
Buy a girl a
Like-
drink first.
He already did.
Oh, you did.
I don't like it, especially after my teacher was like, "It's not real," and I was like, "Fuck, it's not real."
That's got to be something crazy too to hear from like your. Is educator an accurate term?
Yes.
Just like
yes.
your professor, like that's got to have some weight to it.
And that
right?
dude was super smart. Not only was he like really intelligent in his field, but he was really efficient and intelligent at educating, which I think it's a difference in like knowing stuff and being able to teach it. I think if you really know it, you can teach it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't
Facts.
really know it, it's more difficult. Like there's a lot of teachers who are smart, but they're not educators. He was really smart. He did a lot of like really intelligent like research projects and things like that before he was like, you know what I really enjoy is just like sharing my knowledge with other people. Coolest teacher I've ever had. Don't remember his name. He teaches at VC.
So obviously he's not that cool.
No, he's cool. I just,
We have a lot of teachers growing up.
You
bro.
can go
It's-
back and look at those records.
I'm sure I could.
But the thing about chiropractic is they still have to go to like a medical school for it, and they study the whole human skeleton.
I mean, I would hope that they would have to.
They do.
Yeah, right. How many bones are in the body? I don't know, like 36 at least.
1, 2, 3. There's more than 36.
terrible.
at least 35.
But
There
like,
are at least 35. Good job.
but it also is like if you go to a doctor and they're like, yeah, my lower back hurts. They'll probably never suggest a chiropractor because real doctors and chiropractors
They did it for me, motherfucker.
they don't really get along.
Well, also,
Because it's the holistic medicine world and the pharmaceutical medicine world.
but also like the pharmaceutical is a lot more profitable
yes.
I was
than
gonna say-
holistic, which it's not always about what's the best for you. They're like, what fuels my own fucking field.
I was just going to say pharmaceutical medicine, that might as well be holistic because it's not treating the symptom. It's just masking the symptom.
I mean, I don't
If
know
it's
a
like
lot
an
about that, but
if
I
it's like
think
an-
they work in probably both ways.
If it's like an antibiotic, then it's definitely designed to help you. But if it's like
Sure, but if it's like painkillers,
When I have
it's
a-
like it just blocks the neurons in your brain. to
when I had
feel pain.
when I had migraines every day,
Mhm.
and my
This is a great discussion.
my regular physician, she prescribed me this thing to take every morning, or actually every before I went to bed because it make me sleepy. because every time I woke up beforehand, I got this prescription. I would get a headache at like 12:30 on the dot. Couldn't function throughout the day because migraines are the worst. And so if I would take this before I went to bed, I wouldn't get any migraines. And then I went to a chiropractor because I knew something had to be up with like my spine, like my neck or my spine, just because of my past. And
From carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders.
You're carrying pizza rev on your back?
100%. I
100%.
should have said that. Damn it.
And he was like, yeah, try that. Because if you ever like to just talk to a chiropractor, they're
the chillest people I've ever met.
They're super chill because they don't like prescriptions. They're like, they'd rather you just smoke weed instead. They're like the chillest, nicest people.
Love them.
It's almost kind of culty because they're so fucking nice.
Hey man, cult have done a lot for people. Look at Jesus.
Shit. But
Sips tea.
I mean, I've only been since like fucking I moved out here. I've only been to one. Aaron Bates. He's the coolest dude. He's a surfer. He's the nicest dude. Like right here, just across from Wells Fargo by CVS. He's a great doctor. I didn't want to continue.
Can you call them doctors if they're not an actual?
They have like a license.
They have a doctorate.
Yes.
Okay.
He is a doctor
In holistic medicine.
in chiropractics.
That's a weird kind of branch,
And you get
right?
a doctorate in that?
That's what I'm saying.
Fun fact of the day, the only real doctorate that there is in psychology. The rest are not, like, valid. I mean, they're real, but they're, like, the OG doctorate was in psych.
Can you, expand on that?
The doctorate was created for psychology and not medical doctors.
Was it because of Sigmund Freud?
I don't have the answers you're looking for.
Okay, so that
I
was
just know that the
That's
original one...
That's a real statement.
That was today's Be Now.
You
Be
didn't give a
now, in the now with us. Be here right now.
So if you want to be in the know, today's Be Now is the first doctorate was designed
Why are you
for
going to
psychology.
repeat exactly what I said?
Butthole.
For those who tuned into this point.
Oh, they just skip the rest.
In case you want to skip the ad and just go 30 minutes in.
Today's Be Now, 42. Today's Be Now is at 41 minutes. Because I didn't pull it up. I always forget when there's guests. Because it's a different dynamic.
For sure is.
But yeah, if you ever need a chiropractor and you're in the Ventura County, I definitely recommend Aaron Bates Family Chiropractic.
Dr. B.
Hashtag sponsored.
He's a cool dude. Nice dude. He works your joints just the right way.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard you say.
Did he spit on it before he
I
put
was
it
so
in?
sad. I haven't had a migraine since, and I stopped going because he put me on like a plan to get my neck as straight as possible because it will never be perfectly straight. Because
Like you.
He's like, you just gay as hell, bro.
because as you grow, like you think of like a tree.
No.
So as trees get older, they stop like moving. Their shoulder grow out, but their structure will always be the same. You can't influence that any
the
which
trunk?
way. Sure, or the root system.
He knows anatomy.
I feel like trunks and roots are different.
They are.
I was
But
gonna
like
say.
as a tree grows up, like if it goes crooked, it's gonna start going crooked forever unless
Yeah,
it's
that's why they have those
corrected.
Unless
things
the
that are.
chiropractor...
So like
Could you imagine a chiropractor walking down the street and being like, this tree needs medical assistance, stat!
so since my neck is crooked and is going out at like a 36-degree
So
angle,
you're a broken tree.
I'm a broken tree, and I'll never be able to get back to 0 degrees or 90 rather. Or
Don't you feel like people
back to
with
regular?
Don't you already feel like people with inferior genes need to just be weeded out?
Yes, but that's not
Why not
inferiority.
just weed yourself out?
CRISPR.
I would love to, but I have other people who care about me. Besides,
No.
that. And I care about myself because I'm the first person in my family to go to a university, so I have a reputation to uphold.
I'm
Josh
sure your
is a
dad's
bad
like.
bitch.
I'm sure your dad's like parked at a university before. My dad was a janitor at a university. He likes to brag about that a lot.
Steven.
Steven.
Have you addressed him as Steven since?
All the time.
Perfect.
Enough about that though. Darian,
I'm Darian.
what made you want to be a
Was it your basketball?
physical therapist? Yep.
Yeah. You were taking too
No,
long.
hold on. That happened. Did that not happen like once a week with us too, where we'd say the exact same thing at the exact same time. Like,
yeah.
I'm not kidding you guys. Like, it's
ETA
literally
until graduation.
no. Answer the
From,
fucking
like-
question.
First of all, calm down.
No,
Yes.
I'm an angry drunk.
From like my undergrad
I
or
love
like
feet.
grad school. Okay, good talk.
Until you get your bachelor's. Are you gonna get your master's right away?
No, so now to practice as a physical therapist, a doctor is required. So
Oh,
I don't have to
rough.
do a master's.
Really?
But
I
it's
get
like-
to go straight from
it's
bachelor's
still
to
graduate
doctoral
school.
program.
That's so intense.
Depending on like which school you go to. Like I wouldn't go to CSU Long Beach because you have to do their master's, and that's just stupid. I don't want to do
That's
that.
that's
I
like
don't have
another
to.
7 years.
Isn't
yeah.
it crazy that master's is under doctor? I figure master would be higher than doctor.
Master's is essentially just piling more knowledge on top of what you already know, and then a doctor is like
From the girl who's actually going to a real
essentially
college.
isn't a doctorate
What is your take on this?
adding something valuable to the society that's already like undiscovered.
Yeah, I think doctoral programs are typically around like you have to do like a research proposal type of fucking thing. It's very like discipline. More so, I think it's more towards like showing you have discipline than like educational purposes. But don't quote me on that because I don't know.
You have to like publish articles.
I've always agreed with that point though too.
Whereas like anyone can get a masterate because it's just taking classes.
Yeah, anyone.
I
can
said a
do it.
masterate, a master's degree. It's just taking courses. Anyone can get a master's, but to be a doctorate,
Yeah, anyone.
you have to actually participate in the field.
Yes, you can't. C's don't get degrees in PhD programs or
Really?
any doctoral programs. They're like Fs, I think.
Really, A's and B's.
Yeah, preferably A's.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it's like
And that's the
legit.
weird
Very
thing too.
competitive.
What you said earlier, it really kind of spoke true to what I've always thought. It was you said people who teach but they don't like they aren't good at teaching.
People
right?
are smart, but they're not.
They're
good
not. They're not good teachers. I've met a lot of doctors in music and a lot of people who are really smart and really understanding of their topic.
Can
Excuse
you get
me.
the air for me, please?
Stop it.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of warm to be honest.
I'm fucking cold as
Dariane?
shit.
Put on a blankie.
I don't have one. It's in the reading.
You shouldn't be
nook.
wearing these ripped pants, you hussy.
Sorry, these are my favorite pair of pants.
You do wear these like every episode.
It's because I wear them in my off days because I can't wear these to work.
Fair enough.
Because it's promiscuous.
It's unprofessional.
Because you get dress coded. Because you're showing too much skin. Make
Okay,
look
if
like
you
a
want to keep it on,
prostitute.
go for it. I'll suffer.
Okay,
okay.
Okay.
moving forward.
So before I was so rudely interrupted by this asshole.
Sorry.
What was I saying? There's a lot of teachers who
Aren't
Don't-
educators.
they're educated but they don't know how to teach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
I think that is very true because something I've always said on this podcast is I've encountered a lot of music teachers who are doctorate certified. Is the word? Have their
no.
doctorates?
Yeah.
Are doctors of their profession. Whatever.
Your fucking pediatrician has a fucking music degree. It's like, yeah, what's up?
Well, yeah, man.
Maybe.
They have their doctorate in music theory, but they're not good at teaching. And I think a good bit of that must be because at a certain part, it drops off from like the passion. Like, I fucking hate learning music theory, right? I love music with every fiber of my being, but I fucking hate learning about it. The same way someone must hate learning about art or kinesiology or whatever you want to do as an adult.
I don't know. I really like learning things in my field personally. I really enjoy like school and like genuine education, not so much like the education system.
But that's what I'm saying. At a certain point, the education system makes people drop off. To where they're
Right.
saying, I have a bachelor's in music.
But like I hate like my general ed classes that are not like.
Pertaining to your field of study.
Yeah, I mean some are interesting. I took a gender studies class that I didn't finish. I have to
Oh,
redo,
so
but
Got the hiccups, yeah.
that one was really cool, very interesting about something I'm interested in. But I just think like I don't understand art classes super well. I take them, and I hate art classes. They're too conceptual, and I like absolutes. Like I just like
facts
absolutes.
versus opinions.
You're science based.
Yeah.
What did you said something about the gender studies class? Did you liked it?
Yeah, it was really cool. I didn't finish it, and I have to retake it.
What's that like? What's it?
Gender studies?
Yeah.
It's just
It's about her story, not
Shut up.
his story.
He's not wrong.
Really?
No, I mean a little bit.
That's
but
like a feminist class.
I mean, yeah, but I think that, you know, the thing that class addresses is like, what is feminism, and what are
in gender studies?
Yeah.
Why not just have feminism
The idea
as its
of
own
feminism
specialty?
as taught in that class is not as it
it's
is
an
now.
aspect of gender studies. It affects both men and women.
Okay, fair enough.
Realistically, like a lot of people, I think that it doesn't, but it does, and it goes into, you know, what is gender, like how is it a concept, and like comparison to things like race and like shit like that too.
How many
and
genders are there right now?
I don't know. I think like 27 or something like that. I don't understand them super well. I think we've talked about this before. I don't like labels. Like I don't understand them. I think they're super boxy, and I think people just like are, you know.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've always kind of like. I've always respected about you, but I've always been confused because.
Well, that whole community is like, I'm this, but don't call me
yeah,
this.
exactly. If I may just finish this thought, it's like, it's like don't say this, but I want to be this. It's like you're saying I'm not any of these conventional labels that already exist, but you're trying to find a new label.
Right. So I think language in itself is complicated. I think
sure.
Labels are designed for understanding, but I think oftentimes they lead to confusion,
miscommunication.
And I think that definitely like the languages we have nowadays, like they're very biased because they were created by like
white men.
Yeah, I mean basically groups in privilege and power, which typically is a white male, you know? Like there's a lot of like a simple exercise that we did in my class that I thought was really powerful was like what are the different ways you would call a woman who has a lot of sex? Like what words would you use to describe her?
Well, are you including derogatory terms? Because
whatever comes to mind.
A promiscuous slut.
Whatever comes to mind.
But I don't think you should always use derogatory terms.
But like
to
some people think
something.
that way.
But I don't.
Okay, so use what you think.
What would you call a woman that has a lot of sex?
Sexually liberated.
Great. And then Josh said whore.
Okay.
And Josh said whore, and both are true statements.
Mm-hmm.
You say they're liberated. He says they're whores. People say sluts. Some are like a bad bitch. I'd be like, she a bad fucking bitch.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, they still have a lot of sex.
And then if you say like in turn, like what's a way to label a man who has a lot of sex?
A stud.
Okay, there you go. One has a negative connotation typically, and there's not a lot of ways to shame a male for having a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Unless you were like a man slut, which like alludes to the fact that like the opposite or a
gigolo. It's
a abnormality for a man to be a slut because you have to add that he's a man on there.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it? Here's my perspective on that. Is it's harder for a man to be a slut because talking to men, I know a lot of men have lied to me about sexual encounters and experiences, and they've lied to me about it and then come clean later on.
What's your body count?
Right, but even if girls like don't have a lot of sex, if it's alluded to that they do, like people will still call them a slut even if it's not true. And even if a man lied about having a lot of sex, they'd still be like, he's a fucking stud.
So it's a culture. It's a culture of men and female.
I think it's a language. I mean, sure, if you want to look at it, it's the way that this culture.
I'm you know me. I'm just always trying to
like,
understand, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
I mean, I think it's the language of it. There's not words, because even still, like he said whore, and you had to say like sexually liberated. Like there's not just one way to describe a woman in a positive way in the dictionary. That's just like a woman who has a lot of sex. She's not a stud. That's a gay thing. You know what I mean? So it's like. There aren't words for certain experiences and things because they weren't designed by those people.
But there's also like a true sense of like male versus female in sex, right? So I talked to a friend of mine about this, and I just want to get your opinion on it. She told me she goes to a bar, and she looks around and orders a drink, and she knows who she's going to leave with, if she's going to leave with someone that night, before she gets her drink served to her.
Right.
That's great.
Okay.
I've been on the other side of that as a male, to where it's like, oh, that's the girl I'm interested in, go take your shot. But the female in the situation already knows who she wants to leave with.
Right.
And she said, guys call themselves studs for having sex all the time, but I'm a whore. And I was like, but you walk into a bar and you've already decided who you're going to leave with, and that's easier in the sense of, like, a guy, I was going to shoot my shot at this girl, but if that girl's already decided to leave with that guy, it makes it's a competition. It's a breeding, it's a dichotomy that requires competitive nature. To where I have to go shoot my shot at multiple women, where this woman says, that's what I'm going to give my attention to, and...
I think you're doing this thing where you're taking one specific person and generalizing groups, because I don't know a lot of women who are like, I pick that one and then get that one and then get to do that.
I am, but that's what I was exposed to.
Right, but then, like, that's not right. Like, you can't just hear one ideal and be like, well, that's it, because, like...
I'm not saying that's it. I want your opinion on it.
Well, I just said my opinion that not everyone does that.
What that plays to is that it's definitely easy for a woman to get a dude because men are so, like...
That's not true.
No,
because you're picturing, like, a super hot girl that's really pretty, and all the guys are fawning over.
She was not a pretty woman.
Men are so, like... It's so deprived of, like, attention. I know this sounds fucking hard to hear as a woman.
No, I'm just listening. I just think you hear your side and you're like, that makes sense, man. It's hard, but, like, it's hard for women too. And then
sure
you're shamed for wanting to do it.
But man, like, if a woman shot her shot, like if a
woman shot her shot, she has a better percent chance of making that shot.
100%.
Because guys are stupid. Guys will fuck. And if a girl came up to me that was like a 5 out of 10, I'd be like, yo, man.
Especially
here she is. But girls kind of get the pick of the litter.
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Because I was not a girl who got the pick of the litter. And I know I'm much more masculine now, but when I was more feminine, and there are times when I feel more comfortable in my femininity, like, it doesn't work like that for me. It doesn't work like that for a lot of girls I know. And on top of that, like, in the gender roles, like, if a girl came on to you, especially one who's, like, not this, like, tiny, pretty little thing, you can be like, oh, she's, like, ooh, in charge.
Sure.
Or a lot of guys will.
I'm sure you could say, like, to frame what he's saying is, like, first, like, societal norms.
Which are, again, like, based in misogyny, which is, like, men have to be big and strong and burly and masculine, and, like, that also restricts you guys. It's not feminism. It's not feminism that restricts you guys. It's the misogyny in the world. I'm
out of so many women's league because I'm not strong enough or tall enough or buff enough.
Well, we can work on that.
But again, that's an ideal that's reinforced in misogyny and not feminism.
Can you wait? Say that again. I'm sorry.
It's rooted in misogyny, not feminism. With the laugh at the end.
The idea of men not being buff enough,
big enough and strong enough and all that stuff, like, those are cultural,
is rooted in misogyny.
Those are cultural norms that are rooted, first of all, probably in, like, capitalism, realistically.
Yeah.
Just like shaving and stuff like that for women, or, like, I think I read recently, which I don't know if it's true because Twitter is my news, that breakfast was, like, invented recently as a way to sell
eggs and bacon.
Like there was a surplus in wheat, so they were like, buy fucking cereal or whatever the fuck what wheat was used to make.
I believe it.
And it wasn't a thing before then.
Yeah,
I believe it.
But okay,
then you just throw sugar in it and make people buy it more.
But that is marketing,
right? Which is because of capitalism.
And
misogyny.
And to a real extent, so must be sexual attraction.
Yes,
because we're all in competition.
Right. Well, I think
for sexual partners.
I think if you look at look at a Burger King commercial, right? Like, they've got a girl in a bikini eating a fucking.
That was Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've all done it.
Burger King didn't.
Yeah, no, it's all Carl's Jr.
Okay, well, whatever. Who
Burger-
fucking
You should
cares?
pay more attention
Burger
to
King
culture.
commercials right now, they
I was just looking
are
at the bikini.
saying that Burger King commercials are saying that they now get rid of all the artificial colors, flavors, and additives.
They,
You
remo-
would
they,
know.
they removed them
Oh, they're
all.
beef.
I don't have commercials because I paid to not have them.
Ooh, look at you, fucking rich.
Wow, look at
rich
you
woman.
exercising your privilege.
A black
on
woman with
top
money.
of a white male.
Ooh,
But my privilege of having more money is
You're not better than me.
not racially based.
BLM. I'm on your side.
So it's
I know,
not.
because we're in the LGBT.
I'm not gay. I'm not bi.
It took me a
I
while to
am-
come out too.
100% straight.
That's not actually true.
So what are you?
You know, I don't like labels.
But you identify with a certain group.
No, I mean, I think I'm open to dating any human that I don't think is like a predator or.
So you're
Good start.
poly.
No, I don't
You're
like that
pan,
one. I don't like. I'm definitely not poly. I
You're not
don't.
polyamorous?
I'm into monogamy. I know we've disagreed on that term, but I'm into that.
Okay.
Well,
So-
on the meaning of the
So-
term, I'm very much a monogamous person.
Monogamy is not realistic. Thank you, Amy Schumer and Trainwreck.
Fuck Amy Schumer.
What you doing, Trainwreck?
That
She
was a chant that
horribly
they did at the
acted.
beginning of the movie. It was
Oh.
like, monogamy is not realistic.
For sure.
So are you pan?
No, I don't like that one. I think the closest thing that to me makes sense is like bisexual.
Okay.
But I think that people have contorted that to mean different things. So like I'm comfortable dating a person that I feel like I have a connection to.
So you say people contort the idea of what bisexual means.
Right?
Like,
Because people say like bisexuals won't date transgender people, but then you're saying that their gender identity is not the truth. And I disagree with that. I guess you could go into like non-binary people, but I think even that's like a stretch. Like I don't think.
I was gonna say the same thing. I've met people who otherwise you wouldn't know is genetically male or female until they tell you.
I guess based on definitions, bisexual would exclude people who are non-binary
Yes, because it's bi means two. Yes.
because of man or woman. If they're non-binary, they don't identify with that.
But then at the end of the day, now there's 27 genders. So what even does bisexual mean if someone's like a masculine woman or some? I don't know how that
you
works.
could just
I
be
don't know
attracted
what the
to
genders are.
masculine types.
But then that's not a gender identity. That's not a gender identity.
Sure, but
So then you're not bisexual
Sure.
because that's how it works.
sure, but at the end of the day, don't you think you're going to define something at the end of the day that is maybe more just type based to where it's like, oh, I like this type of person or
No,
this
because
type of person?
I think that there are people who like your type could change. I'm not typically into masculine girls, but there's a few that I'm like, damn, what's up, baby?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
she cute, she pretty.
Whatever. She looks like she could beat me up. I'm into it. I don't know. But like, and then like, you know, then you're like, well, what is my type now? Like, I just like,
Changes.
I like people I connect with, and that's all that it really is. There's no word for that. I don't think that pansexual
Love.
is the word. No, he's like, you don't necessarily love them all the time. Sometimes you like them,
Lust.
and then you're like, you're a piece of shit. What the fuck?
Lust.
No, because it's not sexual for me initially. It's just
But it
we
is
just
the
connect.
attraction.
Just the attraction.
I think the attraction is the emotional connection, and lust has to do with.
How can you
sexual
emotionally connect to
desire.
someone you haven't met before?
But you can meet someone, and
Because
just-
you're attracted to them physically.
It's the
no,
it's
because
the
there's been
idea.
people that I'm not like physically like I want to jump their bones, and then I get to know them. And I'm like, wow, I think you're great. Like, I would like to go on a date with you.
Even the woman you said that was.
Gotta close Reggie's or Norman's
even
ears.
even the woman you said that you were attracted to because they look like they can beat you up. That's not a physical attraction.
I mean, I've never like actually experienced that. I was just making a joke.
Example.
Okay, but like,
But I mean, there's girls who are typically like, more masculine that I like talk to, and I'm like, wow, you're really cool. I could be interested in you in that way. I think there are definitely people who go off like sexual attraction. I'm not one of those people, personally.
You're connection based.
Yeah. So I think if I'm not like initially like, oh, that person's attractive, because there's definitely people I'm like, they're attractive, but it doesn't mean I want to date them or get to know them. And I connect with them too, then that's great. And sometimes, most of the time, like a lot of people who are like quote unquote like average, typically like attractive, like they're really not like great people or interesting
I've
or
met
nice.
a bunch of people like that. Yeah.
So I think you can grow into attraction. And for me, like the way that I see people is like there are boys and girls who are humans who I'm attracted to of typically one gender or the other, or ambiguously if I don't know that. And then there are like humans. Like you guys are humans to me.
Aw.
Great. So
Gang,
like,
gang.
you're not. I mean, I get like genetically you're male, but like to me you're
Chromosomal.
just.
You don't know
there.
that.
Chromosomal, yes.
I haven't decided yet.
I've seen at least one of your penises.
That's offensive.
One,
At least one.
not mine.
We're banking on the second soon.
Dang. But that is offensive.
What?
To say that you're undecided when you are clearly a male.
What do you mean clearly?
He's saying
male?
that I don't have proof.
Everyone knows.
I disagree.
Everyone.
I could at any point.
You can't just change it on a whim.
I mean, not on a whim, but if I meet you after, let's say you were born genetically female.
I've seen his wiener. He's a dude.
Okay, but that's how you know. Because you've seen
So you know I'm born a male, but you
genitals.
don't know how I feel internally.
How do you identify?
I don't think that that's how it works.
How does it work?
I don't know. I'm not transgender. I can't speak for that community because, and we've had this conversation too.
It's very complex.
I think the LGBT or LGB,
TQ plus.
no, LGB, lesbian, gay, bisexual, the sexualities have to do with how you interact interpersonally with other sexes on a sexual level. Like whether or not you'd sleep with them or have sex with them. And transgender is how you identify yourself. It's a identity that doesn't have to do with your sex. Because there's transgender people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, asexual, and those are two separate identities. Transgender is
I'm gonna.
gender identity, and it's not a sexuality.
I was gonna throw it out there. I'm lost. If you could.
Because you have your intrapersonal identity, and then you have your extrapersonal identity.
You identify as a male, right?
Yes.
So that doesn't have anything to do whether you're straight, gay, or bisexual. I almost said lesbian. Right?
Could you be a male lesbian?
No.
No,
Lesbian
because a lesbian is a
specifically for
woman
female.
who's attracted to another woman.
Well, damn, shit.
You would have to.
Or their special word.
Your
whatever you
gender
find.
identity would have to be a woman to be a lesbian.
It'll have to be in line with.
But they're different.
If I
Like,
thought I was, if I felt I was a woman, could I be a lesbian who likes girls?
If you
in a
identified-
cisgender,
You have
in
to
a
ask
cis
the
male
council.
body,
if you identified as
I
a
am asking
woman,
the council.
I'm not the council. I'm just one
I know,
person.
but you're the closest thing to
the
it.
community. You gotta go on Reddit and then
You took an
post.
intro course on gender studies.
yes.
I
and that's-
don't think they cover this in gender
Well, because
studies.
this is sexuality,
But it's
it
good
does
as, it's
pop
good
in
as
a
talk
little.
about. Who cares?
But that's the thing is like gender identity, which is cis, male, transgender, female, like their gender identities. They're your pronouns: they, them, he, she. That's it. That's all of them. Your path. And then your
Sorry, I'm very
sexuality.
progressive.
Your sexuality is something
He's so
completely
progressive, he
different.
sees It's
Terrible.
I have a gay friend from Target.
my God, man.
You just lost your gay friend from
His
Target.
name was Pablo.
You just lost the-
I have his name tag in
Man,
my
you
car.
outed
You
him.
just outed him, bro.
I
piece of shit.
stole his fucking name tag from a corporate situation.
You shouldn't admit that.
I
If
don't
I was
care.
Pablo, I'd get you fired for a hate crime.
He doesn't work there. He got
And then
fired
I'd
because he
say-
was working off the clock.
Oh, Pablo, what you doing?
I don't know.
No problem.
it's a long story. We'll get him on the show eventually.
Alright. Yeah, man. I don't.
Gender is a very sticky web.
It is super. Well, that's the thing. It's how new is gender studies courses?
I don't think they're that new. I think my teacher said she's been teaching for 20 years.
Really?
But she said it's been really interesting to watch how her
It's
field
changed
has
over
changed
time.
over the years and how her lesson plan has adapted, which I think is cool.
Well,
that
it has
there's,
to.
well, I think it's cool in the aspect that there's a openness and a safe enough part in like our culture now that you can do that and be open and discuss those things and have those conversations. Because we watched a video in my class where there was a little kid and he liked to like wear dresses and skirts and stuff, and everyone was like, "Are you gay?" And he was like, "I don't know why they're asking me that. Like, I just like to wear skirts sometimes, make sarongs out of my stuff." And
How do you feel about that? Because I've heard arguments saying that you shouldn't. There's
Force your kids to do certain things.
not even force. Just I guess the word's enable, but it's still a not really great term if someone's made up their mind about it, but if your child is 8 years old and they say, "Mommy, I want to be a girl," and they're born a boy, like they start supplying them with hormone treatments.
I don't think you can give an 8-year-old hormone treatments because
In California, you can.
I don't even think that they have those hormones to begin with because
In
they
California,
haven't gone
you can.
through puberty yet.
hmm
So there's not really hormones to give them.
You can still
But
correct
in
it.
California, you can give them hormone treatments under the age of 18, under adult supervision.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean someone's going to give their 8-year-old hormone treatments.
But people are.
Some people do.
And I mean, I don't have like, I personally would give my child time to express themselves. I think there are several steps, and I don't even think an 8-year-old knows what hormones is.
It's not
Hormones
a phase,
are.
Mom.
Sure, but my point being, there are people out there who are fighting for the fact of hormone treatment for children under the age of like 12 who identify as transgender, the gender they're not cisborn, if that's
Right.
the correct term.
I don't know.
And they say that they treat their children because two gay dads would say, if I was a child and I
Was it
felt-
specifically two gay dads that said it? Or you're just generalizing?
it it was on the Joe Rogan podcast,
Oof.
a
A cis male.
cis male, but yeah, I mean it's the one thing I'm not.
So was it two gay dads or no?
It
I
was.
don't think so.
I believe it was two gay dads, and the two gay dads were saying,
They really wanted a daughter.
I
I was like, well, we got a son right now.
mean, it's funny as fuck. I'm sorry.
Fucking change it. Send it.
Send
That's
it.
fucked up. I'm
Full
sorry,
send.
community.
It was a little fucked up, but it was funny.
That's the kind of humor I'm into. Sorry. Sorry, community.
It was. I believe it was two
I'm
gay.
an ally.
I believe it was two gay dads who had a son who wanted to be transgendered, and they said that they wanted to move forward with hormone treatment. And Joe Rogan's point was that the child's brain is not developed enough to understand his identity. Maybe he's just doing it because he has two gay dads and understands his life and his realm as, oh, I have to be different.
I just think that argument, I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree with the dads, but I'm just saying that argument's always bullshit because, like, people always, like, sexualize little kids. They're like, oh, there's Alec with his little girlfriend because you're a little boy and she's a little girl. Like,
Well, there's still people.
and I also think, like, since I was 5 years old, like, I knew I liked girls and I liked boys. So that was 5. Like, I knew my sexuality as a child who's too young, and your brain doesn't finish developing into your 20s. So I don't think that that's a fair argument, considering we're allowed to fucking, like, vote people who can change other things in our life. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
who can change,
go
like,
ahead.
other things in our life, and our brain's developed enough for that. I'm not saying that you should do hormones for children or not. I'm just saying that that argument is really moot, and it's
I'm not saying it's an
sexualizing a
argument.
lot of things.
I'm just saying, what do you think about that situation?
Well, I think his viewpoint, which it is an argument for some people, that's him saying
Okay.
it's his point, but that is an argument that people have. I just think it's a moot point because you don't have a problem, like, sexualizing, like, children if you assume they're straight. You have a problem doing it for them if you think that they're not.
And that's the thing. I think they aren't assuming that they're gay, straight, or transgender or anything.
Well, I think they
just-
are because I said a little boy wears a skirt and you hopped on to him, like, gay dads and whether or not your kid should be allowed to do that. Like, the kid just liked to wear skirts. That's it. He was just a little boy who liked to wear skirts.
I like to wear my sister's clothing as a little
people
as a little boy.
And you turned out a
Straight.
sexually active, cisgender, straight male.
People automatically like to sexualize children, which is fucked
Just
up.
pedophilia.
It's gross.
Which is fucked up in the
So,
first place.
Start
Yes.
there. Start with pedophiles.
Strike one.
They are children, and when we were all kids, like, we didn't know what the fuck's going on. We're just kind of living day by day, and with our parental influence, like,
Yeah, bro, and that's what I'm saying.
however it goes, I'm sure we've all had different, like, experiences with our parental influence. That, I mean, I'm sure it's different, like any which way. There's a million different scenarios that can happen where it's like, if Alec liked to wear skirts, if he liked to wear women's clothing, could that influence a certain
I
thing?
was 6.
Or if he just did
We
it.
were playing Truth or Dare.
It was last week I walked in on him.
And if you like to cross-dress, now people can still cross-dress and be straight. Like, they don't have to be gay. It's just a thing.
It could just be a fetish.
It could just be it's just a thing. They don't.
Does that thing come from somewhere? Is it provoked?
That's a psychology
from-
thing. The only real doctors.
But I think that's another thing
Yeah.
also is like people are gendering like clothes. Like it's a piece of cloth on your body.
Yeah.
And
Built from societal
and it's
need.
how you want to express yourself. I can dress in almost the same outfit as you one day and end up in
We're twinning.
fucking Daisy Dukes
we're
in
all
a crop
ganged up.
top like the next day. Like what is
Oh, would you though? Would you?
I
wear
have
Daisy
I have done it before. You know,
If
so it's like
if I showed up in all just like, let's take an extreme example. If I showed up in just all lingerie and high heels,
right.
what would be your takeaway from that?
Alex sus.
I would be confused because I've never seen you do that before, and I would wonder why you probably walk better in heels than I do.
That's pretty fucking sus.
That's pretty specific
But
too.
I don't think it's us. I mean, people are allowed to express themselves, and that's another thing. Is like they've taught you like gender
What
means
what-
means
what-
not wearing tight clothes and wearing short shoes. But you guys have shoes that there's boots for men that have a fucking heel in them. Cowboy boots do that. You guys are wearing
got a pair of
heels if
boots.
you're a cowboy, and that's allowed because it's considered a masculine heel. Like it's all perception.
Sometimes
it's
you
not
wanna be
really
taller.
real. It's
6 foot's the benchmark.
people tell you what's the truth and you just assume that it is.
We're not
like
6
it's just
foot.
a clothes.
Shut up,
If
Josh.
I wore a
Stop
more
talking.
fitted flannel than this one, it would be a woman's one, but this is a men's one because it's a little bit looser. Like that's stupid. We can both wear
But
flannels,
it's more
just the
comfortable.
tightness of it. Plus, I've got super big arms.
So if I wore
and
tighter
I don't
clothes, it'd
fit
be
in
more
girls'
feminine.
clothes. Yeah, that's what it's. Women's clothes are fitted. That's what makes them feminine.
That's societal.
Even men's shoes. I wear men's Vans because I got like wide feet, and they're built
Same.
wider than women's shoes.
But that doesn't make you a
Same.
man. It's just genetically how you're born. You have wider feet.
I'm born a woman genetically, and I have to wear men's shoes to fit in
Big
regular
oof,
clothes.
sir.
So what's a norm for birth? Because there's a lot of women I know that you have flat feet, so your feet sit wider.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like
But then clothes are gendered. They gender shoes. They make them more narrow for women. Women's shoes are narrow. Men's shoes are wide.
Is it because of capitalism and businesses saying generically most females, because they have the numbers on this, run in this size, and you are just aside from the stereotypical?
No, because there's no generic for men's pants. What do you guys? You have the waist and the length, right?
That's it.
There's
Women is
no
just-
generic. There's
women is just
multiple
a fucking
size.
number.
Yeah.
You get a large, extra large, small, medium, or extra small. And that's not the same generic as like a 30, 32 or a 31, 36.
Do you think
That's not generic.
Do you think there's a woman culture and a man culture to where women do it to where they can say I'm a small or I'm a medium, and guys can say I'm a this and I'm a that, and there's
I think-
just differences
I
between
think
them?
even the way that like beauty standards
smell
have
bacon.
been
Am I having
over
a
the years.
stroke?
Yes.
Yes.
Beauty standards over the
Cool.
years have changed because like back in I don't fucking know 19 something I'm sure
The
like
20s.
thicker women were the beauty standard,
Yeah.
Thick
Like
women are beautiful.
Marilyn Monroe.
whereas
era.
like early 2000 like super skinny small extra small was the standard.
I was not a part of that movement.
That's not that's not also a choice that women
not
make.
helping.
It's promoted through like the fashion industry and what
With
the
capitalism.
TVs exactly what the TVs
Marketing.
and the TV shows and all that shit they tell you.
It's brainwashing.
If you want to fit in, this is it.
Yeah, it's brainwashing.
Hegemony. I don't know if I said that.
homogeny.
Yeah,
Hegemony.
it's,
And then you have
Hegemony.
like, and you have like
Hegemony.
models like
Whatever.
I
The
know.
hegemon.
I know Ashley Graham is a model. She's a I
She
don't know-
thickums.
and she's beautiful and
Yes, she is.
she's a very big proponent for like kind of like to diversify the whole modeling scene.
Yeah. So I don't think it's something that women enforce, and also I think it's important to understand like where they get those ideals from, because as a little kid you see those TV shows and those movies, those ads, those magazines where they're told like this is the way to be in, And you socialize among other people that are like, you're either in or you're not, based off the things that we all are socialized to see.
You either smoke cigarettes at 12 or you don't. You're not a cool kid.
So you're saying that it's better to leave it open, to say you can be who you want to be, and grow and experiment.
This motherfucker.
I was gonna say the name of this episode needs to be "Josh holds a skeleton for a half an hour."
I
I'm
think
comfortable.
I think
You look
that
cozy as fuck. He looks happy.
he's like, this
I'm
is
just
the best
cold.
I've had.
Okay, I'm just fucking freezing.
Is he warming you up? Should we pop him in the microwave for you?
No, but I'm cold.
For me personally, I just think that labels are very boxing. I think people have to keep creating all these labels because they just don't they don't fit everyone. You can fit in within a box, but it's still constricting. And you are just who you are.
The top of the box is open.
Why let labels affect you if you need to keep creating labels? Because there's
I just think why? Because I don't identify as a label, but you asked me what I identify as to understand.
well,
When I'm
because
just I date people, and you're like, well, which way do you date people? What does it mean? What is your label? How does it go? And I'm just like, I just fucking date people. I don't know.
because there are people who would be offended if I asked you or said even misspoke about the people you date.
Right, I date people.
And if I
But
said
there are
you
people
date,
who are
and if
really
I said-
comfortable in labels.
And if I said you date boys and girls, there'd be someone who says, no, I date boys and girls and I'm pansexual.
Right. And I know people who are pansexual, and I'm like, ooh, I just don't like that label. I don't. There are
you
people
like the
who
label
are
of bi?
super. No, but I think it's the closest thing that fits me.
So what about when people say like you're dating this person, you've been seeing them for like a while, you've been on like 2 dates, and like what are we? What about those kind of labels?
What do you
Oh,
mean? Like establishing what you're doing, your
Boyfriend, girlfriend
intentions?
labels, like those kind of
Those
labels.
are hard.
You know, I think this is an interesting topic. I dated my girlfriend for 5 months before we entered an actual
Can I get another
official
beer? I'm
relationship.
pounding these. Jesus.
You're one behind me, sir.
Really?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Bring it on.
I love a good competition.
I'm winning.
I dated my girlfriend for 5 months before we entered an official relationship because I wanted.
Facebook official?
No, I don't. We're not friends on Facebook.
We're still not friends on Facebook either, huh?
That's a competition.
I'm your friend on Facebook, and I found that one video that one time. And you unfriended me, and I had to fight you to get me your friend back.
Don't make me do it again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Stay in your lane, Josh.
I
know my
think
place.
I think those labels can be whatever you want as long as you're honest and straightforward. Some people are like,
But here's
we're
the thing.
exclusive, and some they're not. And
There are people who are in all of those communities and all of those identities who are still gambling addicts, liars, drug addicts. I've met,
so what you're saying is they're just people.
yes.
Oof.
Wow.
Wow.
So what
That's
you're saying
fucking
is the labels
mind-blowing,
actually don't really do anything for anyone at all.
Yes.
So to call
Wow.
your boyfriend...
So what you're
So-
saying is I was right. That labels
So-
are pointless.
So why study these labels? Why be in a gender studies class?
The gender studies class is not about sexualities. Like I said before, gender
What
identities
is
and
gender?
sexuality are different.
What is gender?
It's a social construct.
Just like time.
Then why
Like
study
race.
it? But you need. Could you imagine?
Well, we could talk about race, because...
I don't want to with you guys.
If there's
For
anything,
sure. I
but if there's
understand. I
anything you want to talk about, bring it up.
Okay.
But
Just know I'm an ally.
at this,
This motherfucker.
I haven't been to a riot yet, but I'm an ally.
A riot. They're
Or a
protests.
rally.
You don't need to be
a
too-
rally that
Yeah,
turned into
what
a
if-
riot.
there are rioters.
Antifa
They're protests.
protests.
Well, they're protests, but there are rioters.
They eventually
The
turn
people
into
Yeah,
a
but there's
rally.
rioters on both sides of everything for everything.
Yeah, and there's people who protest, and there's people who
The line is
riot.
blurred.
So what's the difference?
I stand by the people who protest.
The people who...
So you called like a lot of the BLM things though like riots. So
I
then
never
you
said that.
Because
Yes, you did.
They're,
When?
they're paid by people.
because you
to
were like,
riot.
how are the riots over there? And I was like, protests, and you're like, they're riots.
When did I say that?
Oof.
I don't know. Probably on my phone. It's weird.
know. It's probably on my phone. Pull
You
it up.
definitely said that because I was
Pull
like,
it up.
the logs.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
it's over there.
Get it.
Go get
You
it.
can pull
I'm
it up
taking
too.
shits
You got a
live-
phone?
Sure. All right. Fine. Yeah, I was like,
It's the
put a
same
phone in your phone.
log. Unless you delete your text messages like a weirdo.
Oh, suspicious.
Dariane.
Is the greatest.
Should I say your last name?
You're
Is that
alright.
No, don't say that. I don't put it on any social media. I
So-
purposely don't put my name on
so-
anything so motherfuckers can't find me.
so no one knows your last
Darian's
name.
last
sure they do.
text
They
to
work
me
with me.
says, like Donkey Kong, which is racist.
How is that racist? He's an animal.
He's a monkey, and I guess people call that to black people.
When
He's not a monkey.
when
He's a gorilla, but it's the same
he's a
shit.
monkey.
They're different.
He's a monk.
White people don't know that.
Well, they should get educated.
Okay,
I'm
hold
not
on.
talking about race with you guys. Also,
I understand.
Fish except for dolphins.
Was that me? That sounded like me.
Yeah, it was you. Darian started sending me the cute videos of like a year or two ago when we were kicking it, and
You
I was
gotta
like,
fucking show me the video, not just play me the audio.
that's from like 3 years ago.
back when I had buzzed hair every day.
DVD.
It's a
like when I
lamplighter.
broke the pool cue.
Ugh, what a beautiful time.
You said 2 years ago. I said I miss you in all caps. So Tuesday, September 22nd, my birthday.
Happy birthday.
On my birthday, you text me say, so your ass just can't say word. So your ass can just say wordly now, and you weren't going to tell me.
It's worldly.
Wordly.
Worldly.
It's okay. He still can't do it.
You're doing
So-
amazing.
So
I've
you're
tried
doing
to get him to
amazing,
do it.
sweetie. So on my birthday, we didn't talk about. Oh shit.
I'm pretty sure the protests were like in April or something.
Yeah, you're going too far back.
No,
Not
I need
far
to go
enough.
far in the back.
Josh said go
I'll
deeper.
go farther
The
back.
protest just happened.
No, that was the Armenian one.
The Armenian genocide.
I don't know, probably.
I don't remember when that
January,
one
February, March, April.
Because
April.
BLM just happened.
I mean, it's been around for a long time,
Well, the 2016 Ferguson shit, and then before that, but
for sure.
recently, yes, it's just happened.
I can't make it speak.
Where
this.
the organization kind of just formed as like actual.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what I learned in high school. Is like black people didn't exist till 2016.
Fuck
Of
up.
course, black people were the first people on the planet.
Mic drop.
Technically, sure.
I
yes.
never got to talk about kinesiology. Also, by the way, you guys are terrible fucking
Talk about
hosts.
kinesiology.
You're like, so Darian,
Darian,
blah blah blah. Tell me
Darian,
about this, and then you're like,
Darian,
anyway, I'm Josh. Let me
Darian,
talk about me, and then you're
Darian,
like, let me overspeak both of you.
Darian,
Please don't interrupt me.
Darian.
We
While I
go
look up,
based on the guess.
Josh, shut up.
I'm
Darian.
gonna take a piss, so
Go ahead.
therefore
How
I
come you
will
told me
shut
we
up.
couldn't be?
You can.
I
You're
said-
allowed.
That's what I was
So
saying.
dumb.
I was saying, get up and grab your phone. We take.
Norman, hold the mic.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Get up and go hold your phone, because I've taken shits during a whole podcast before.
Wow, you were gone for what, like 30 minutes?
Yeah, probably.
Is this thing on?
What's Shaquille O'Neal?
I'm gonna kill Ryan for that. You hear me, Ryan?
Ryan can hear you loud and clear.
I did.
What do you want me to look up? Because what's the date? What's the date you said I said the
I don't
rioters?
remember. I'm not like.
Because I
Dear
promise you I
Diary.
didn't say that.
I'm not like Dear Diary. Today is March fucking 12th.
Darian,
Alex said this.
during this time, please speak about kinesiology or whatever it is you feel compelled to talk about while I look up this text message.
Hi guys. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Doo Doo Drink Beer. My name is Josh. And I'm Alec. Alexander. Sup, bitch.
What would be the date you say that I said? Oh, Jesus Christ, that was a fast piss.
I got a strong Jesse.
I thought you were gonna say I had a stroke.
Darian, what would you say would be the
I don't know dates off the top of my head. I don't even know what today is. I don't even know what month it is.
When's your
You're
anniversary?
kind of painting me as a racist, and I
general?
don't appreciate it.
You said the word protest. I remember because it rubbed me.
I will
What's up,
search.
Norman?
wrong
Come
way.
back to
I
me,
will
honey.
search the word protest if I spelled it right.
Protest. You cannot fucking spell that.
S.
No.
Pro.
Pro.
I'm gonna P
Test.
too. I don't know if it was in text or in
There is
person.
no search history of me saying protest ever.
It's weird hearing you like, oh fuck. It's weird hearing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without the headphones, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Make it quick, cause you're our
After
guest.
she pees, I pee. So
Okay, well, so then
I just want to say
I
there's
get to
no
talk to her
record.
about whatever I want.
Josh, say whatever you want. I'm gonna double check the protest thing that she says. I've never said the word protest to Darian or anyone in any text message ever.
I'm Adriana, urging you to vote no on Prop 23. I have been a dialysis patient since I was 15. Okay, so you lost me fucking right there, bitch.
Is this protest spelled properly?
Yes.
And is there any search history saying protest?
No.
So I will now search the word riot.
Shit. Are you still hot?
Oh, okay. I will turn that off.
Please. I'm freezing. And usually I run hot too.
So there is something I said about riots to Darian. Hang on.
When was it?
January, February, March, April, May, June. June 13th, 2020.
That's when they were going.
It doesn't bring me to that text message. I
It
think I
brings you to
have about
wherever
another
was
month.
the phrase brought up.
I think I have about another month since mostly... Oh, she was... Okay, so Darian said Saturday, July 30th, 10:29 p.m. LOL. Thanks so much, dude. I love you too. Let me start this off. Saturday, July 13th. If she's washing her hands, I'll wait till she gets in here so I can read it to her then. Okay.
I heard you wash your hands.
So Darian,
I didn't hear you wash yours.
I don't.
Darian,
My mom said I should stop saying that on this.
Darian, this will wash your hands. Darian, this will out you a little bit. Are you
Oof.
are you okay with
as
me?
you a liar.
The only text message that refers to a riot between you
I
and
don't
me.
think I said it was a text.
You,
I just said
you said it was a text message.
Well, I don't call you,
You do sometimes. You drunk call me sometimes.
but we don't fucking talk about politics.
You said it was a text message.
You said it was a text.
I mean, I probably did. I don't remember.
That's the whole thing of this. Is
On
that we
on
kinda
Saturday,
out each other.
on Saturday,
Rewind the tape.
on
Yes.
Saturday, June 13th, 7:38 p.m. I said, "Hey, Bi, happy Pride Month. I love you and support you. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. Let's kick it soon if you're not too busy. I'm basically free all the time now. Stay safe, stay woke. Love you, fam."
Love you, fam.
And you said, LOL. Thank you so much, dude. Love you too. I am moving in 2 days, so when I'm all settled in, I will hit you up. Is your job open soon? I thought bars and stuff were going to be open again. I think, and then I said, I think I have about another month since we're mostly a comedy club. It depends on if the riots cause a spike, so we'll have to wait and see. But please do. Are you moving back? You said, oh, you guys.
So you called them riots? And not protests?
There were riots.
But the riots only stem from the protests. The protests turn into riots.
Should I have said protests?
You said there were protests and there were riots. And I said,
He didn't say.
you said,
He didn't say protests at all. He just said riots.
he said there were protests. I said there were protests and there were riots. And I said, what's the difference? And he said, some are protests and some are riots.
And you said, oh, you guys have looters over there? I said,
because you said riots.
because we did. We did have looters. We did have riots.
But you never texted back.
To be fair,
Tell me I'm wrong.
Target closed early
So if I
2 weeks
can I-
because we were afraid of protests turning into riots.
let me
I mean, we did too, though.
let me just read the
That's
last of
actual.
this transcript.
Camarillo is different.
Let me just read the end of this transcript. You said, "Oh, you guys have looters over there?" Nah, I'm just moving into a house with some friends. Thursday, July 30th. Hi, you were in my dreams the other day. I think you were having a house party or went to Taco Bell. I'm not sure, but either way, it was 10 out of 10. I replied, LOL, Taco Bell and house parties are all I'm known for these days. Glad to see your psyche is still in touch with my soul.
Yes.
That was it. No, I did not respond to that, but...
So it's ambiguous.
but
No, I think my point was that you called them riots because they were protests.
But there were...
And then you were like, there was a riot. And I was like, oh, there's looters? Because you were calling it a riot.
Because when I searched the word riot in my phone, it also brought up my sister's text messages. And my sister's text messages said, hey, I hope you're okay. I know there's rioting on your street. All the shops on her corner that she lives at on the same block, the windows of Bevmo and Gelson's, all those windows were broken. They were looted.
Right.
So I was reaching out and I was saying to my sister, I'm
praying for you.
basically...
You're terrible.
Basically, I know there's riots going on. So in my mind state, in my state of mind, there are riots going on because my sister...
There were riots going on, but there are also protests going on.
Sure, but I'm not saying...
And the riots stem from the protests because of people were being paid to riot to make it look bad.
And also the rioters were typically
White males.
I get it. I gotta take a piss. But I don't know what your point is to
My
say
point was
I'm a
that you
bad
called them
guy.
riots instead of protests. I wasn't saying you're a bad guy. I'm just saying that it was
Because there are riots.
It's mislabeling.
I don't like labels. I'm taking a piss.
But
aren't they
it's-
important?
weird taking off your headphones.
You've never noticed this? You're the fucking audio guy.
I know, right?
You should know it's weird in the first place.
0 out of 10. He's fired.
He's wearing my shirt, by the way, guys.
Boo, boo.
And if you like that denim shirt, it's mine.
It's about to be Alex. He's gonna steal it for 2 weeks.
He is not. I'll fight him for it, and I'll win.
I'll tie Josh up for 2 weeks.
You won't. So how's it going? Are you enjoying this so far?
I'm having an experience.
It's a conversation, really. It's really...
It does feel like a normal conversation.
Some
guys.
things you may not want to talk about, but we'll kind of try to bring it out, but...
For
You know,
sure.
you don't have to talk about anything you don't want to here.
Right.
Two Dudes Drinking Beer is we're very open. We're all about our guests. So the shows that have guests are structured around the guest. So you kind of dictate where we go.
It doesn't feel that way.
You can say no to anything.
No.
There we go. So we sit in silence until he gets back.
No, it just feels like when we used to drink in your garage until like 2 a.m.
Throwback.
TBT.
It's only Wednesday. You're a day early.
In somewhere else, it's definitely Thursday.
Yeah, in fucking like Australia.
Well, I'm from Australia, so
You are not from Australia.
I was gonna do an accent, but I feel like that's offensive.
It's not offensive to mimic an accent, but
Only if you do it
You know,
like poorly.
you're not an Aborigine, so that I just made it racist. Being a native. So besides the point,
Welcome back to another episode of Doo Drinking Beer. My name is Josh.
my name is Alec.
And today we're drinking Coors Banquet. It's not sponsored by anyone this time. If you want to sponsor us, you can go ahead and do that. We'll drink anything you drink.
Two Dudes Drinking
Are you
beer.
closing it?
No,
Oh, I was like, don't fucking end it, bro. We just
no,
started.
we're not ending.
Just got to the good part.
We ran out of things to say, so we started over.
You guys are so dumb. Are you guys... Oh, fuck.
Dumb? Yes.
We're
Dumb.
friends, but like we've never really been on that kind of level. We're
Josh,
talking
yes,
about
we
shit.
have. We've hung out alone before many times.
I'm gonna fix it.
Fun fact: Dariane's the reason why I don't say the N-word anymore.
Because he...
You
I'm
have
gonna
a
expose
million
you.
reasons
Because he
to
called
not
me
say
it
the
with the hard
N-word.
R, everyone.
You
Hard
have a
R.
million
Cancel
reasons to
the
not
show.
say the
Cancel
N-word, and
Josh.
Darian is the reason you don't say it anymore, you piece of shit.
Fuck.
I said it ironically.
You can't say it ironically, you fucking sack of shit.
Did you guys know that Chris Pratt's being canceled?
He's been canceled.
Isn't he super Christian and
He
religious?
is, but so the cast of Avengers was doing like a charity thing for
The
give
blind?
to donate to
For the gays?
Joe Biden, and Chris Pratt wasn't a part of it, and so everyone's like, "Yo, where was he? Does he support Trump and whatnot?"
Yeah.
Yo,
So
that's so toxic, though.
people
like,
are trying to cancel Chris Pratt because of him being religious and may or may not be supporting Donald Trump.
They also, because he's like a piece of shit.
Why is
and
he a piece of shit?
Also because
I don't know much about
it was
him.
like well before then. Like I don't really care about any famous white male one way or the other, unless it's Captain America, because he can fucking get it. He leaked a dick pic recently.
Did
10
you
out of
see
10.
it? I couldn't
did.
find it. I couldn't find
I'll
it.
show it to you. Where's my phone?
Fucking. oh my
I couldn't
God.
find it. So she'll get up her phone and grab that.
Yeah, she'll jump on Captain America's dick, but
I-
she won't jump
I
on the
couldn't
fucking
find it. I
movement.
I scoured the internet. I couldn't find it.
Let me show you.
I couldn't find Chris Evans' dick.
You
He's
guys are
straight
both
though,
gay.
everyone.
He is super straight, I would assume. A cis white male in Hollywood. Who would have guessed it?
Anyway, no, I meant you're straight. Looking for this dick pic forever.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
facts.
straight.
I just had my coworker send it to me.
But yeah, Chris Pratt's people are attempting to cancel him. But I feel like he's a super just nice dude.
They always attempt to cancel him. It's like the 5th time. Just do it or don't. Who fucking cares?
But like, I feel like he's just this nicest dude because all I see is Andy from Parks and Rec.
Here's the crazy
But
thing
I
about
don't know him as a person. He's been divorced once. He has some kids. He married into the Schwarzenegger family.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how he got all fucking built, huh?
No, he was built before that.
Ugh.
It's thick.
None of. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it now.
You want me to send it
Dope.
to you? Do you want it?
No,
To not
I'm okay.
not have it later?
I'm okay. Good for you.
You want to
Chris.
see Alec? Good for him, right?
It's really fucking impressive, actually.
What's up, baby?
America's
Compared to his
schlong.
leg in the background, amazing.
You can see it.
Should I?
It's America's schlong. Because he has America's ass and America's schlong. It's a shadow. It's just a shadow.
That's what I'm saying. Ugh.
That is really thick.
It is.
That's what I'm talking about.
A good look. Good
Josh
for you,
is so
Chris
flustered.
Evans. Like, Jesus Christ.
He's right.
I'm a straight man, but I can
His voice
appreciate.
cracked when he said I'm a straight man.
I can appreciate.
His voice cracked when he said, "Get the phone," too.
I can appreciate another dude. I have a thing where I look at legs. I like legs. And
like male legs.
any legs. It doesn't matter, men or female.
Do you like Alex legs?
He's got weak legs, in my opinion. I know we have the
Weak
same
legs.
We have the same amount of thighs, but like your
Bitch.
calves are lacking. I pay attention to calves, and so whenever
The
I
audacity.
when I'd go upstairs at like in high school or college, I would just look at people's legs. That's the first thing I look at on a person is their legs. I look at their face and then go to their legs, and I'm like, I study their legs and
You
then I go
check
back.
them out. You check out the whole ass person.
No, I look at their fucking legs. I wasn't flexing.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, please.
Besides the point.
Oh wow.
What was that look?
I'm all,
No.
I'm
Miss
all,
Weeze.
I already saw Captain America's dick. I'm good.
I'm all lower body.
You seem nervous.
Yeah, all my gay tendencies have left my body. I'm straight
That's
now.
his fake straightness.
That's my fragile masculinity.
Remember when you used to say you were
Yes.
like 40% gay, like Archer?
I'm like 49% gay.
That's a really high number.
It is super
That
high.
was really
you sound
high.
almost bisexual.
It does. Actually, yeah, it is kind of bisexual.
He doesn't like labels.
Just kidding. That's not how it works. Don't do that. That's bad for the community.
You
It was a
used-
joke.
As soon as you
used
hit
to say
50%.
Yeah,
As soon
because
as you
I
hit
can.
50%.
But you can't say it on a public platform. It's like wrong. That's my joke. It's a joke because it's not real. And I would say I'm like 2%
LGBTQ
straight.
community,
Cancel her.
cancel her
I'm allowed to cope with my own
because you're a part of the community. It's okay for you.
individualities in
Do-
whatever way, because it's not harmful. Because if I had a like direct conversation with someone, I would hold them accountable, ally or not. And also, I'm not sitting here being like, being bisexual is 50% straight and 50% gay, because I just said it's not. I said, excuse me, ha ha ha, that's a joke.
Do you assume that I don't have any traumas to deal with that makes me 50% or 49% gay?
Did I say that I do?
I don't know. It kind of
I
sounds
said,
like it.
She
I
answered
said,
a question
do you
with a
remember?
question.
I said, do you remember when you used to say this? So was that me saying that, or is that me reiterating
You
your
said-
own statement?
You said, do you remember when you said this and I pulled up my text messages and
Riots.
When I said you said riots, and then you said riots,
and
and then you're like, I never said protest, and I was like, I think that was my point. I think that was my point.
because there was rioting going on currently.
subsequently because people were paid to
And I
riot.
wanted to say I hope
Or
you're
sorrows.
safe during the riots.
They were protesting.
They
Black
were.
people
They
weren't
started.
But there were
They
riots.
started out as
Because I was black
protests.
people.
You are black people, yes.
But black people weren't gonna hurt me.
There was both. There was both riots
I don't
and
think
protests.
black people would hurt you.
I mean, some might if they're bad people. Everyone can be a bad person,
Anyone can
Sure.
be a bad
just not
person.
generalized. Like the
Hello.
gay people. Full circle. Next topic.
Whatever you want the next topic to be.
Chris Evans' dick.
Chris Evans' dick.
It didn't look that long, but it was, I would
It
say
looked really long.
I'd say
that was his
fairly-
leg in the background.
it
That was
de-
like half his calf.
It
I
de-
mean, half his thigh.
it depends on where the light is, because the farther the light away, the bigger the shadow is cast.
Actors know all about that. Angles and shit.
So
Hmm.
he could be pretty average.
He was average enough for me.
Oh, you fuck Captain America?
Just because
I would
he's,
fuck Captain
just
America
because he's Chris Evans and he's kind of built.
because he's a snack and a half.
A snack and a half. What snack is
Just
he?
say two snacks.
He's
he-
Captain America.
Nabisco brand? Is he like a Nutter Butter or like
I don't
he
like
got in her
sweets.
butter.
an Oreo?
He can nut my butter. Ha! Thank
That's
you
what
for
you
saying
said.
that.
Christ.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Nothing.
Chris
Nothing.
Pratt being
Yeah.
canceled.
We've talked about nothing this
Chris
entire
Pratt
show.
being
Not
canceled.
Chris Brown. We were
Chris
not talking
Pratt.
about Chris
Chris
Brown.
No,
Pratt.
we're not going to talk about
Chris-
Chris Brown.
Pratt being canceled.
Chris Brown did beat the shit out of Rihanna in like 2008.
I think he like assaulted Karuchi.
He assaulted someone recently too.
He's just
I woke up
A
Chris
predator?
Breezy.
Yeah.
so Chris Pratt. He's a predator.
Chris
Brown?
Pratt?
I believe it.
Chris Brown.
I believe
Chris
it.
Brown, yeah, for sure.
Chris Pratt. People want to cancel him for whatever reasons. I think people are always upset about other things. I think you're allowed to be upset what you're upset about, but I think sometimes People are just people. I don't like celebrity culture. I think it's really toxic for society
For sure.
and humans. I think that's why like a lot of celebrities like don't live a long time and do like heavy drugs and stuff, because it's, I think like the pressures put on them to like not be allowed to be human is like shitty. And I think sometimes like we said already in different ways, like not everyone's a good person. People are just people. Sometimes they suck, sometimes to you they don't.
I saw a video of Britney Spears yesterday.
She does not look good.
She's looking really rough, and there's also like a conspiracy theory where she's like being held against her will to portray a certain image.
I think for a while like she was not allowed to be in charge of herself. Like her parents or someone had like technically like custody over her because she was not considered like
Healthy.
mentally healthy enough to watch after herself.
All I know is that she's dating someone that used to date my best friend,
It's my favorite story you tell. That's where it ends. And that's where
Homie
it starts.
hoppers.
Sam Asghari,
Shout out to you.
currently dating Britney Spears, which is wild. Was a backup dancer in her videos, and then just kind of they got together.
I like it.
Interesting. But she's old as fuck. She doesn't look the same. She's washed.
They tend to age after time.
White people do, yeah. Black don't crack though.
White people, you guys get so mad. One time I was like, white people age like milk left in the sun. My coworker, she got so mad. She was so mad. And I was like, Beth, it's okay. It's a, oh, she was there. I was like, it's okay. It's a joke.
Because we are left in
I
the
mean,
sun.
kind of. But she did not.
Black don't
I was like, how come we were doing this like white people banter thing and then that was the straw for you?
It was
that
the
was the
straw
one.
that broke
That's
the camel's
hilarious.
back.
That's one of those things too, is like you don't really know who's gonna approve of your like racial humor or your joke that you make, and people don't understand.
You're 25,
Give or take.
24,
37.
around there.
Give or
92.
take means you could be 50.
I am.
You're 24 to 26.
Give or take.
You look like you're 12.
Thank you. I think it's the chubby cheeks
Definitely.
and fuck you and
It's not okay for you to say, but it's okay for her to
It's
say.
okay to me to say.
I think it
No.
doesn't help that I'm
Yo,
really quiet.
you could be black, white, Asian, whatever, but
It's
you can
not
still
okay
be
to
fat.
call someone fat. It's not okay.
I'm sorry, I said chubby cheeks. How do we get to fat? Fuck you guys. You're fat and you're
I
fat.
didn't say anything. I'm an ally. I'm on your side.
I hate you.
I'm an ally.
He said fat. I didn't. I'm an ally.
I didn't say you were fat. I said you could be whatever you want to be, but you could still be fat at the same time.
You did not say that. You're backpedaling.
No, that was implied.
We'll pull up the tape.
Go
Why
ahead.
the tape?
It'll be in the highlight reel.
But people hate Chris Pratt because he goes to a church that's like
Super
anti-LGBT, like most churches, and he probably is a Trump supporter because he's super fucking religious,
But he
like
has-
most Trump supporters.
He hasn't come out and said that he is supporting Donald Trump, but he wasn't at the charity event to raise
Joe
money
Biden.
for Joe Biden. So
And
call
I
it
guess
as you see it.
some people, I was reading this morning, some people don't like him because he in Parks and Rec, in the scene where he's like naked at the door.
In the scene of the TV show that's all scripted?
Yeah, so he was wearing the nude underwear thing, but he was like, I wasn't getting the reaction so I wanted, so he was like, I just went out actually nude to like my girl
IRL?
in real life.
Nice.
And the reaction that she shows is like her actual reaction for him actually being naked. That's why her face looks like that. And people are like, he's a predator because of that. He seems like a nice guy. 'Cause he's
That's
not.
acting.
I wouldn't say
Yeah,
he's a
but
predator.
but then he got sat down by the studio and they were like, you can't keep talking about this like a joke. Like there's rules and protocols and you're not allowed to do that.
I wouldn't call Chris Pratt a predator for that.
But
though.
like to
That's
some people,
acting, though.
to some people that is predatory.
it is
They're-
predatory. I see that, but it's just he's perceived as such like a wholesome dude because of his role.
Students who
And
go
I know
to-
you just look me up and down because I said that.
I just think it's so easy. You guys are always like, this poor white man being
Because it's a dude.
crucified
But
by the masses.
I'm not saying that. I'm
But
saying it's a misunderstanding.
There's a big but in this because
But it was a
Big ass
conscious
butt.
choice, so how is it a misunderstanding?
what I
'Cause that's acting. It's the culture.
But you're not allowed, if the studio goes, you're not allowed to do that. Is that acting then?
no,
Okay.
but
Talk about a fucking what's his name film. The dictator, the fucking
Sacha Baron Cohen. We saw Borat.
I rang
or
up
he
his.
saw
I helped
Borat
his
for the
wife
first
one time. She's
That-
a really tiny lady with a crazy accent.
He's all about being fucking
I can't wait to see
actually
Borat,
naked.
too. But so
But I didn't say it's okay for him to do it either.
it's not. It's not okay
And I
for
don't
anyone
care.
to do it.
I personally don't care one way or the other. If someone did that to me, I'd probably be exactly the same as Amy Poehler. I'd be like, "What the fuck? What's your penis?" Like when you showed me yours.
But a white guy,
Spoilers.
but a white guy to a white
you
girl.
You chose to not.
I
look
did
away.
look. I've seen your penis.
I held her
You
head.
chose to not look away. You could have closed your eyes.
They were closed, and then you guys were like, "You have to look." My head was being locked in a position, and I had to look, and I was like, "This is
Besides the point. So I only know about Chris Pratt being canceled because of Twitter, and someone was in uproar and was saying, where was the support for Brie Larson when she was essentially outing Hollywood for being male bias and like something like
Right.
that because she's a big feminist, and I don't know much about that. It's a downfall of myself, I can say.
for sure."
I'm not that big of an ally, but I'm still an ally. What's up, Norman? Look at the camera.
See,
I broke his
hello.
eye.
He got nervous. He's shocked.
Fuck Norman.
No.
Josh probably will later.
So, whoop. Wow. Yeah. Right.
He's like, "I got him specially because you can position him."
You can't rotate his joints. It's only up and down.
Can I ask you something that has been on my mind as a white cisgendered male?
Says
Are
society.
you gonna ask
Sure.
me in an open-minded way, or be like, "That's my perception," and here's me arguing my side of my perception and then
That's
trying
just-
to be open-minded?
That's just my perception.
I'll ask it and you interpret it as you see fit.
I
He's
did.
wearing my shirt.
There have okay. I watch a lot of superhero movies. A lot of Batman, a lot of DC,
Animated's
a
only.
little bit of Marvel. Mostly animated, yes.
Weeaboo.
And when you go into the forums of those animated series, you see a lot of people saying, "Why isn't Superman black? Why isn't this person black? Why don't you make this person black or this person this or this person Asian or this person gay? Why
Right.
not make Superman gay?" And I get that, but people who want inclusivity in stories, my immediate thought is it wasn't written by a black man. It wasn't written by a gay man. If you want to write those stories, go out and write those stories.
Right, but there are stories that are written by black men or gay men or Asian people, and they're not picked up because they're not considered marketable. That's not our audience. That's not the majority audience, and we do not want to produce that.
Are
Shit.
there stories that I can look up to see that?
Probably.
Have you fucking
I just
seen?
feel like you're sitting here being like, well, why don't they make movies about, like, all the movies about, almost all the movies about black people are about, like, fucking slavery.
Fucking Hermione.
Or when they were, like, fucking, you know, indentured servants or whatever, whenever they're very rarely, like, just happy. You have a bunch of stupid fucking coming-of-age movies about stupid fucking white kids who feel like they're so out of the ordinary because they're tall,
Remember the days.
or they have frizzy hair or something stupid. There's 8,000 stories about little white kids growing up.
Yeah.
fucking.
How many are there about little black kids growing up? And
But-
you're gonna sit here and say like that's not
I'm not.
you, but I'm saying like they're like that's not
Yeah.
marketable. But like all I do is I sit and I watch, and this is the problem is like
But this is what I'm saying. Like, how
this
many?
is the
black
problem is
actors-
like
black
there's
writers. are
there's a
there?
lot of like stories to tell that are not considered marketable, and there's like this genre almost like black movies like Tyler Perry or shit like that where it's like a full black cast. Like a lot of people who are not black like don't go to see them because they're like, I don't have interest in that, I don't relate to it.
It's often perceived as a joke too.
But I don't see movies where I'm represented and I'm just supposed to accept that as like normalized. And you're like, every time I feel like I like a celebrity or a musician or some artist, like they come out being like racist, or because I also identify in LGBT, like they come out homophobic, and you just gotta be like, man, that fucking sucks. Like I either continue to support this person who doesn't reflect me in any way and look like a fucking idiot because they don't give a shit about me, or I'm like, I don't care and I want to cancel this person because there's no representation that has anything that looks like me out there. And it's not that there's not black artists. You know a bunch of like what, black musicians and probably drawers and writers and probably other shit. Like I'm sure you know a lot of artists of color in many ways, but more often than not, like they're not perceived as marketable.
So the difference is just like the production house or the production company that says we're not interested in this particular black story or black superhero, etc.
I mean, probably. I just think, like, to sit there and be like, well, why aren't those movies made? Like, it's naive to sit there and say, like, those stories aren't out there, because they are.
Well, I'm not saying they're not out there. I'm saying...
They're making a Static Shock movie.
I know, but
He's black. So that's cool.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, are there as many white writers as there are black writers writing superhero movies that are filling the role of a black man being...
Well, the Marvel
Luke
movies all
Cage.
come from what, like Stan Lee? From Stan Lee's...
They don't come from Stan
I mean,
Lee.
Stan Lee started Marvel.
The characters that have been created
Yeah,
since the
they're-
fucking 20s.
They're inspired by.
when black people weren't allowed to be a part of that.
Didn't have rights.
So they weren't allowed to be a part of that.
Yes, but present day.
Right, but those effects,
Are
like,
there
they
a lot
don't
of
just go
writers?
away.
You
They
can't
don't just go away when those policies are, oh, poof, they're gone and everyone's all treated equal. Like, that's just not how it works.
You can't just make Iron Man black one day. The character's
They
been...
made Green Lantern black one day.
There's a lot of different Green Lanterns, but, like...
Yeah, but they made the Green Lantern black one day.
I mean, like, there's...
No, yes, they did.
Sure.
They made
DC
Miles Morales.
DC sucks. That's
Oh.
also... That's not,
That's
like,
Marvel.
the Spider-Man, but, like...
That is
Green
the Spider-Man. Miles
Green
Morales
Lantern is
a
not Marvel.
Spider-Man.
I don't think he's Marvel.
Spider-Man is...
Spider-Man is
No,
Marvel.
Green Lantern?
Green Lantern is
not.
DC for sure.
That's why I said DC. You said,
DC.
nope, it's Marvel.
Well, we were talking about Spider-Man and Green
You were
Lantern at
talking
the
about
same time.
Spider-Man.
And we were talking about them at the same time.
Besides the point.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Later. You can kiss Norman.
Josh has been kissing him.
You licked him. That's different. That's gross. Sorry, Norman.
For your eyes.
The characters have been written a certain way for fucking 70 years. And to change that kind of requires a lot of different, like...
But they're written
efforts.
by white people is my point.
Yes.
You're writing a story as like, oh, I was a little white kid and how cool would it be to have a little white superhero? Right?
Another one.
Someone that looks like me, how exciting would that be to have them
Another
as a
one.
hero? Like, of course you're gonna write someone that looks like you and reminds you of yourself, that inspires you.
But
Blue
And if
eyes
you're a
and
writer-
blonde hair.
If you're a black writer, people are like, I don't want to fucking read about a black superhero because I'm a white kid and that doesn't have shit to do with me.
But how do you feel when you see the Tatiana, the Black Princess
and the
and
Frog.
the Frog, and the movie Soul? It's like all about New Orleans jazz. You don't feel like that plays on stereotypes already?
Well, also, I think it's important to acknowledge, like, I've seen that movie that one time we were at your dad's house. I don't remember the movie. Like, super long ago. Bad day. Anyway,
Okay.
the
was a
majority
bad day.
the majority of the movie, like, she's not a black princess. She's a frog. She's not on the
No,
screen as
she's
her
a-
skin.
She's a princess. The frog's the prince.
Yeah.
Doesn't she turn into a fucking frog?
No. I don't
No,
think so.
dude.
I did not watch that movie.
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe you should have at least watched that before having that argument.
I don't watch princess movies. I
Well,
just saw The Little
moving
Mermaid for the first time the other day. Anyway,
Really?
yes.
You saw what for the first time
The
today?
Little Mermaid.
Ariel's my favorite princess. I had
Yeah.
the biggest crush on her.
Do
as
you
a
like
kid.
gingers?
Oh no, shit.
The one-off
Sorry.
occurrence doesn't count, I would say, because the frame that people like changes, as you've said yourself. So I can say that for myself.
I didn't fight you, but okay.
I'm just saying, people like different things, and it changes over time. So I
But
dated
you
a
said
ginger
people don't
once.
change.
I happen to like Ariel. I wouldn't say it's correlated. Besides the point. Irrelevant. They don't relate.
Anyway, how did I feel about Princess Tiana? I haven't seen that movie.
I don't think anyone has.
I don't know. I heard a lot of people really like it.
It doesn't have its own ride at Disneyland.
They are turning Splash Mountain into Princess Tiana's whatever
Perfect.
the fuck.
And they also, well, because Splash Mountain was racist.
Was it? I don't know. Everything was racist.
Everything about Disney
Everything in
is racist.
Disney's racist. He's also super anti-Semitic.
Yeah, only hired people with blonde hair and blue eyes for a solid period of time.
40
Oh,
years.
He's dead now, so.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, who cares?
I heard his head's like in a thing.
Everyone says that.
He is in a cryogenic chamber. That's why they
Everyone
made the
says that.
movie Frozen, to hide the Google searches. Because if you type in Walt Disney Frozen, it
That-
would bring up the cryogenic freezer he's locked in. But now if you type in Walt Disney's Frozen, it brings up the Frozen
It just
movie.
sounds like a conspiracy in itself.
That's hilarious.
That's the point of a conspiracy.
That's stupid. Disney's stupid. My boss came up to me yesterday and was like, "Josh, I'm mad." And I was like, "What did I do?" And he was like, "It's not about you. It's with Disney." I was like, "Okay, well."
Okay, dope.
I was like,
I'll be in aisle 3.
"Why?" He was like, "Because they're not open yet." And I was like, "Okay, well, write a letter to fucking John
Congressman.
Disney
Walt Disney.
or like
Disney.
whoever's the CEO and ask him to open up." And he was like, "It's not Disney. It's the governor or whoever's in charge of California." And I was like, "I don't fucking care, John."
Which is also like,
Go away.
understand that we're going through a pandemic right now.
The governor. Is it not
The
him
governor,
anymore?
no, it's definitely
No.
not. Are you kidding?
He's got no influence anymore.
Well then. I haven't seen Princess and the Frog. I'm pretty sure she turns into a fucking frog.
Princess
She's
Tiana.
a princess the old time.
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna Google it.
I'll look it up. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it.
But more importantly,
But I mean, that's
Well-
one princess movie. How many princess movies are there? Let's list them. Snow White, Aurora, fucking Ariel,
Sleeping
fucking
Beauty is
Sleeping.
Aurora.
Yeah. Fuck. Don't interrupt me. Rapunzel.
If you do fucking Google search princess, Diana is one of them.
There's another white princess.
But that's I'm thinking of fucking the one from is Tiana, not Diana. So never mind.
Tiana.
Diana's their English bitch.
Who
Sorry.
else? Merida. She's white. Moana is
She's brown.
Morana's brown.
A Pacific Islander.
Islander.
She's still brown.
I think she's
But-
one of the brown ones, but she's also super new age.
But all written by white people.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know much about who wrote Moana or who had influences about any of this or that.
And that's my point.
She does turn into a frog.
At
Okay then.
one point.
But like for a good solid chunk of the movie.
In exchange for the money needed, Tiana reluctantly accepts, but since she is not an actual princess, she is turned into a frog herself when she kisses Naveen, which also gives her the ability to talk to other animals.
That's just common.
Because
Like-
she
Common knowledge.
because
She
she-
just said she didn't turn into a frog.
because she don't got money, she turns into a frog.
So because she's a broke black person. Racist.
She's a princess.
She's not a
broke.
princess.
It
Just said
just
she's
said
not a
that.
princess.
Oh, it's not.
Yes.
Shit.
Anyway.
Well, how do you feel about the idea is like, how do you feel? Stop. Give me a boner. How do
Whoa
you
there.
how do you feel about the like the New Orleans black community
Nolans.
like musical scene coming into that? Like, you don't think that's stereotypical? Like,
Again, like I don't know the movie.
fair enough.
I don't know anything about New Orleans. I don't know anything about like the French Creole people that are there. So
Fucking a lot of big band.
I don't know.
I love
Baron Samdi's there. He's
Be
hanging out
careful.
the god of voodoo from New Orleans.
New Orleans.
But I think that's another thing is like it plays into like certain aspects of
Big
certain
band.
cultures, like the voodoo and shit like that. Like there's no voodoo in like
I just ripped
Any
your
of-
fucking shirt. I'm sorry.
Are you fucking kidding me?
My
Tis
big-ass
now.
muscles.
You
That sounds
you didn't rip
unrealistic.
anything. You just popped a clasp.
button.
Thank God. Otherwise, you're buying me a new shirt.
I got you. $15.
Hey, man. Shirt's a shirt.
And that's on
Voodoo.
voodoo. I have a voodoo doll tattooed on me. It was a Friday
Do
the
you?
13th
Show me.
tattoo.
I haven't seen it.
That
Oh
is
yeah. That's
very basically done.
why.
It was a Friday the 13th tattoo, Joshua. Did you hear me when I talk or no?
Sometimes.
Why?
Yeah.
It was Friday the 13th.
So
But
a
why a
$13
voodoo
tattoo.
doll?
Because
Oh,
you get like
and
cheap
why not?
tattoos then, and they're like spooky.
The
But
voodoo doll
honestly,
doesn't mean anything
I
to
picked
you.
the voodoo doll because my dumbass older brother got me a voodoo doll for like my 13th birthday, and I was like, "You fucking
That's what
idiot!
I'm asking.
You got me a voodoo doll, and I'm like 13 years old. Like, why would you?" It came with like a book too. I think how to do voodoo, but I never opened the book because I was like,
Not praise
But-
Jesus.
it makes me think of him every time I see it. And then honestly, sometimes I think it's just a gingerbread man. Like I forget
It looks like a gingerbread man with a short left leg and pins in it.
a little bit.
A little bit.
I got that and like the seeing third eye thing over here, but that one I kind of regret.
Is it the Yu-Gi-Oh one?
Yep.
Can I
It says
see
Yu-Gi-Oh above it too.
Does it really?
No, you
Don't
fucking
fuck
idiot.
with me like that. I love
You
Yu-Gi-Oh.
fucking loser. Of all things to love, you love Yu-Gi-Oh? You're a fucking
Yeah, dude.
loser.
He's a simple man with passions.
He's a loser.
Thank
That's
you.
what he is.
Also, yes.
Chris Pratt's being canceled. Chris Evans has a big dick. There's another Chris in there. I don't know which one he is, and no one cares.
Hemsworth.
The one from Star Trek. Chris.
Pine.
That one. Who cares? And then Chris Hemsworth, who was also a snack and a half.
I only know Chris Pine because someone was. It's a Vine. It says, "Look at my Christmas tree," and they're like, "What is it? What is it? What is it?" It's a Chris Pine.
Yep.
And
It's terrible.
and it's his picture from Star Trek.
10
So
out of
that's
10.
only why I know Chris Pine is in Star Trek.
Yeah, whatever. You like probably beat your meat to him every now and then.
I don't even know.
Just shuffle through the Chris's.
I cannot name another movie or TV show that Chris Pine is in.
He's in fucking Wonder Woman.
I love Wonder Woman.
I couldn't even tell you that.
What a babe. Do
Gal-
you know she filmed the first one while she was pregnant? You
Gal-
can't even tell.
What?
Gal
Word.
Gadot.
She was like 6 months pregnant.
I love Gal Gadot.
Yes.
He's all right.
I
babe.
saw all the animated Wonder Woman films
Israeli.
in the last week. Amazing. Wonder Woman is probably my second favorite hero to Batman.
Batman's not a hero.
Batman's
Or
your
he's not a
first one?
superhero
He's just some rich white dude.
with gadgets.
Down with the patriarchy.
Okay, well, still, a woman's my second favorite hero, so chill.
Second, that's the problem.
I don't even know what to say to that.
You're like a rich white dude and then a woman.
Josh, who's your favorite superhero?
I don't-
Superhero.
I don't
Who's your
like-
favorite superhero? This is about you.
I don't
We'll
like
get to me.
I don't like superheroes that much. I'd probably say
Okay, back to me.
Okay, first of all, here, let me cut you off.
I'd probably say some
You're cutting me
X-Men.
off again? I'm shocked.
I really like the X-Men. Okay,
Eh.
I like mutants and shit. So probably Cyclops because it's
He's probably the coolest of
I
them.
read
shit
that
I like.
the X-Men were like a metaphor for like being gay and coming out. So this is really coming full circle. Exposed.
unintentionally.
So
I'm not gay.
perfect.
I like whamming.
I like whamming.
I'm not
Whamming,
gay.
whamming, whamming. I'm not gay no more.
He said all of it. I only said whamming.
Because I followed through. Ask me what I named my car.
What did you name your Stang?
Luke.
Ruben.
No, stupid.
Rest in
You named it
peace.
Luke?
As in Cage.
That's pretty funny.
I don't know what that means.
He's Black Superman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I
actually,
have two things really quickly.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson is actually playing that character. No?
So not a black person's playing a black person. That's great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He's not even-
I
he's
have
not
2
even
points
black.
to what you said.
he's not even black.
Well, this is a Netflix series.
Here's another
about it.
fucking fun fact of the day. They say that your
B
car
now.
is a surrogate for your significant other. That's why men typically name them girl names. So that's fucking funny. For what?
And I
You've
think
only
you're a
had-
black superhero,
You've only
Darian.
had male names for your
That's
car.
gay.
Homo.
Anyway, and then my second fun fact is, well, it's not a fun fact, but like a lot of people think that Superman should be black because like the sun gives him powers, and like if you were white, you would
get sunburned?
Sunburnt. Like my skin is kind of built for the sun, but I can get
You only
sunburnt.
get darker, yeah.
I can get sunburnt.
Do you really?
I've gotten a sunburn on my earlobe, and
Wow.
just right here on my cheeks.
It's a pretty gay place to get them.
You're reaching.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, I named my car after a black superhero.
That's really romantic of you.
Because I'm gay for superheroes, apparently.
You're like the strong men, the rich white men, and the big black men.
Elon Musk, daddy,
I don't
give me
think
money.
I don't think Luke Cage is
Mr. Bezos, please.
rich.
No, he's a big black man.
Give
Yeah.
unto me.
I like big black men.
Why is Dwayne the Rock Johnson playing a black superhero?
He's not even black.
I know.
Because he fit the role.
Cause he's the big brown dude.
That's not.
How many other big brown
Synonymous.
dudes are there?
Probably
Terry
a lot.
Crews.
Just pick any fucking. No,
I don't
that
think
guy's
Terry
a douche.
wants it.
What's wrong with him?
Crews?
Yo, wait, hold on. We're gonna pause really fast. You remember when I was talking about Kaylani's baby daddy, and I was like, he's so hot, and you were like, oh, I thought like a 10 out of 10 was like Terry Crews. I think about that all the time. I was like,
Yeah, because
ooh.
Terry Crews is built like a fucking machine.
He looks
dude.
like a melted Snickers bar.
Reiterates my point that
What
you
the
like big
fuck?
black men, and I'm with it.
Fuck, bro.
Well, what's wrong with Terry Crews?
John's gonna get married.
He's just weird. Like he's like.
He's funny.
Oh, you
There's-
think black men are weird all of a
No,
sudden?
America's Got
he's like a
Talent.
black man that doesn't support like black women.
He also
does.
in a weird way.
Because why? Because he's black.
Cause
What's
his
your
Twitter.
proof?
His Twitter.
What is his Twitter?
I follow him on Twitter. He says all this shit about everything supportive of everybody.
No, because
Terry Crews loves people as people.
because a lot of people, like a lot of black women, supported him when he
gonna
was
let this
like
one
coming
go.
out as like being sexually assaulted by
he's me
some
too.
fucking white guy,
Someone
and
grabbed
then
his
some
wiener.
woman like made a comment about how What show's he on? Like
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn-
And
No,
America's
no.
Got
What did
Talent.
you
That
say? Brooklyn? Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
on America's Got Talent.
Broccoli
They,
Hello, I'm a bar at Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
On America's
I don't want
Got
this fucker.
Talent.
Get him off me.
I think it was Gabrielle Union was like,
I gotta
oh, I've experienced.
Go pee. I just stretched the
You can
shit.
tell your story.
I just
I
stretched
feel like
the shit
the
out of
world's
this
least
arm, bro.
important
Can
guest.
you not?
You need to do some more bicep curls. You need to get swole, bro.
It's
I
a
just
shirt.
fucking.
It doesn't change like that. That's not how it
Look
works.
at this shit just goes right over my arm now.
Don't fucking roll it up then.
No, I need to stop flexing my muscles. What
Leave
needs to
them
stop
down.
happening? No, I like it up.
Simple.
Simple.
You're very valued, okay?
911.
Just because you go to the bathroom
911.
doesn't make you unvalued.
Just because we interrupt you,
This is
don't
the
let you
first
talk
time
when you're a
Josh has
guest on our
pissed twice
podcast.
on a podcast.
He's nervous.
He is. He doesn't. He's not used to. Look, I crushed the shit out of this can on like one of the hardest parts to crush.
I wish we were at a bar so I could see you tear up the fucking coasters, the paper coasters.
I actually chose cans for that reason because I've been tearing the labeling off. If you watch any of the other podcasts,
I've seen you do it, or
I-
I've heard Josh be like,
I do it. It was when we had Chase on the podcast. I was like literally peeling them off, and she was just talking about it. I was like, I'm doing it right now.
LOL.
LOL. I was so shy and nervous,
I'm shy.
like a Chinese Japanese girl.
I don't watch that kind of,
Chinese Japanese girl.
Chinese. I
Like
don't.
a tiny
I guess you
Japanese
could.
girl.
Small.
Small.
She's so small.
Were you into Asian woman?
Mm.
What's your kind of woman?
I like the tiny mean
I
ones.
like you.
Thank you.
Don't give a fuck about your boyfriend.
What is that?
It's a song.
I like it.
Me too.
I like tiny Latinas who are sassy and mean. My girlfriend's actually not my typical type because she's really nice,
Mm-hmm.
and like really friendly. And normally, not that she doesn't get sassy, but it's like my caliber of like fun sassy and not like I'm being a fucking bitch because I can.
Mm-hmm. Who was the girl we worked with at Pizza Rev who was gay and rode BMX?
Oh, Savannah.
Savannah.
I fucking
She
loved
was
Savannah.
tiny.
I loved Savannah.
She was so small.
Savannah has been brought up on this podcast time and time again by me, and I was like, I love her, because like I'd be like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, she'd do something, and she'd be going slow, and I'm like, really? Like, you've only done like 2 cheeses. It's been an hour, and she's like, I know, right? Fucking gay people. And I'd start busting out laughing. I'm like, I can't be mad at that. Go ahead, do you?
Like, damn, you got me.
Yeah. Like the fact that you could just tell a joke about it and be so casual, like, oh, so smart, so talented and
She
gifted,
was
and
dope.
just one of my favorite people I've ever met.
Her
just
brother was
ever.
really cute.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be weird, right? If you like met her and you're like, I'm gay too, and then like you hook up with her brother.
It might be weird for her, not for me, because like I know that.
Because I like that.
Because I think a lot of the times I'm like, I'm gay, and people are like, oh, for sure, lesbian. And then I'm like, oh my god, that guy's so hot. And they're like, what the fuck? But
Well-
I know what I mean.
Well, you identify as bisexual, not lesbian,
Yes, I'm not a lesbian. I'm attracted to men.
but also bisexual.
You tell people that you're like X% gay.
Not anymore. I
You
outgrew
used to.
that phase of my life.
Nice.
And honestly, unless someone's like trying to date me, I don't really. Most people don't really ask me. A lot of guys assume I'm gay. Like at my work, they talk to my girlfriend. They're like, "She's gay, right?" And she's like, "No, she's bi." Because that's like this.
But it's
simplest
your
way.
girlfriend,
Yes, that is my girlfriend.
the one you.
I'm dating.
Cool.
Yes,
Shout out
we're
to
dating.
you.
We live together. We work at the same establishment, but not really on the same shifts.
I gotta warn you about that.
Gets-
Don't-
it
don't be a
gets-
shift leader.
Been there, done that.
It gets rocky.
But it's cool. We don't work together.
Dope.
What was I gonna say? Savannah was cool. Her brother was cute. Men are attractive,
They can be.
and they're annoying.
Yep.
I like when guys look nice but don't say much, because once you guys start talking, it's just like such a turnoff.
That's kind of like how a lot of men see females.
Speak for
Just
yourself.
shut up and look pretty.
Oh, I can't. That's pretty. It's pretty. What's the word? I want to say vain, but
Misogynistic.
pretty shallow.
Yeah.
Me?
No.
I'm feeling that way.
I'm not
If
saying that's how
like,
I
just-
perceive them.
Just
I'm
be
saying
pretty
that's
and
how.
shut up.
I'm not saying that's how I perceive them. I'm saying that's how a lot of men perceive them.
But I don't like pretty men either. I like really masculine men. Because I feel like some of my qualities can be perceived as masculine, especially because I don't have hair anymore. Or I do. I have a short haircut, but it's also the way I carry myself and the way I dress. But I feel like twins. I think if I'm gonna date a dude, like he's got to be like a.
I'm about to say a
Six-
10.
six
and you
foot-
realize,
No,
and you
I-
realize
6
you
foot
couldn't
5,
love each other.
275 pounds.
I was gonna say he's just gotta be like such like a manly man.
Taylor Cruz.
If I'm gonna date, no, ew. If I'm gonna
Bobby.
date a dude, like it's gotta be a dude.
What's a dude to you?
6 foot 5.
And that's why I
275 pounds.
paused,
Josh, shut up.
because it's like that's misogynistic.
Oh, it's not. Tell me what you
No,
like.
it is.
Look at you reflecting.
Tell me
Thank
what you
you.
like.
I don't know. They have to be taller,
It
like
varies.
How tall?
probably 5'11" to 6 foot or taller.
Let's just say 6 foot. How much do they weigh?
I don't know, bigger than me.
Are they athletic?
Preferably strong, decent like muscles. Like you can have a dad bod.
Can they
'cause-
squat you?
I mean, that would be really
Strength doesn't
nice.
come from athleticism.
What?
Strength doesn't come from athleticism.
Are you saying that because you're not athletic?
Comes from
Yes.
emotional torment.
Nope. Comes from working at Target lifting furniture, baby.
So are you saying you're a manly
So
man?
dumb.
I'm saying I'm strong.
Are you saying I should consider you or?
No.
Because I'm gay, right, Josh?
Should,
Yes.
should I
Because you're
consi-
gay.
Could
You-
Because we're gay friends. High five.
No.
you high fived it? That means you're gay.
Down it.
No, it's the opposite side of my hand. Therefore, it's a reverse action.
How many more
Because
beers should I
You're
have?
gay and I'm straight.
I'm at 5. This is, I think.
This is
number
probably
6.
my second or third. At least 3.
Speed it up there.
I probably had 4.
I got nervous at first because I didn't think I could pee on the show.
Yeah, you
You're
can do
allowed
whatever
to.
you want. We don't care.
the first time I've ever been twice.
Wow, I'm
In
honored.
It is my
2
first time.
hours and 16 minutes.
2 hours.
Oh shit, we've been grinding.
I didn't know I had that much to say. Only have
I know.
another 42 minutes to say something exciting.
You thought you were going to go for 30 minutes.
Honestly, I think most of it's been you guys speaking over me and me just
That reminds
sitting
me of
there.
this one thing.
Because women don't have rights.
And that's why I dress like a man now. Just kidding.
I could see that. I could understand that to fit in with a societal norm.
No, I just like the way these
What do you
clothes
think? Okay, what do you think about? Sorry to cut you
As
off.
you walk over what she says.
Go ahead.
tends to be shocked. No, I'm done.
Are you
For now.
okay? Can I get another beer? I feel bad, and I
You
want to get
should.
drunk to forget. We're getting food after this, by the way. My treat.
Oh, my mom's making dinner for me.
Okay, then your mom's treat.
So
I'll
Alex
come over.
buying food, my treat.
No.
You're right. It's my turn to buy food.
Motherfucking Damn, use your words, big girl.
Yes, please.
When I say
Fuck you.
when I say big girl, I don't mean big. Obviously, I mean like you're
For
an
sure.
adult.
How many times are you gonna call me fat in this fucking podcast?
I love you.
This is why I visit once a year.
Truckosaurus. Truckosaurus. I forgot what I was gonna say. Motherfucking
Let's move on. Move on. This is-
Mulan.
no.
Mulan?
Mulan.
Terrible
She's
movie.
gay.
Disney Plus
she gay?
only.
I don't know. I haven't seen the
shit
new
remake.
one, but yeah, she's good.
No music. No songs.
But I heard it was for cultural, like, respectfully reasons.
I heard China bought out the contract of the production, and they recorded it right next to a Uyghur concentration camp.
I don't know what you just said, but it sounded a little racist.
He said they shot the
Do
movie
you-
next to Muslim concentration camps.
Oh,
Do you know what a Uyghur concentration camp is?
It's a form of Muslim.
no.
It's an active assimilation camp in China to assimilate Muslim people to be more Chinese.
To be communist.
Like,
communist.
they're Chinese people that are Muslim,
Yes.
or they're,
Like they're Muslim people teaching them to be Chinese.
but are they
They're from China, yes. And they just happen
Wow.
to be Muslim.
ethnically, they're
Yes.
Chinese,
Yes.
but they're Muslim.
Yes.
How did that even get in there? Hasn't it been like a dictatorship for...
How are
How don't you
Mexican
know
people
about that? That's my
Catholic?
question.
Huh?
How are Mexican people
But it's,
Catholic?
is it a
Assimilation.
dictatorship down there?
Assimilation.
So then it's
Not in
different.
Mexico.
The word of the day
But
is
in China.
assimilation.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
Don't they control
Because-
their internet
because
and shit?
Assimilation.
missionaries exist.
Missionary
But who let the
positions.
missionaries into the dictatorship?
The Pope.
Anyone can go to China. It's a free travel.
Yeah, seriously, anyone could go to China.
Alec,
Don't
you're
they,
not
like-
helping. This is a conversation between intellects.
Wow. The fact that you consider yourself an intellect is
He's
hilarious.
so offended.
I'm smarter than you.
No, you're not.
I go to college, you don't.
Next time I'm
Fight
here,
me.
let's have like a academic decathlon type of thing.
Trivia contest.
See, and this is what I said earlier. I love that every time someone's here on the podcast, they're like, "Next time I'm back."
Well, you're obviously gonna bring me back.
Yeah,
You need the black queer perspective for diversity.
you said that. Not us.
I'm inviting another queer on the show. So
What, Pablo, your little
Wow.
fucking boyfriend?
Wow.
Shocking.
You can't call someone queer without their permission.
It's Pablo. He knows what's up. I talked to him the last 2 nights in a row.
Hey. not
Hey,
a great
Pablo,
ally.
my homo.
Pablo.
Pablo's probably trying to like have you suck his dick. Respectfully.
He has a boyfriend.
So?
Like people never
Pablo,
cheat
you better not be using me.
for dick.
Use and
It's-
abuse him.
Not worth it. I'm sorry, homie. I'll give you the heads up.
Make him your bitch. But respectfully. And consenting. I believe in
That
consent.
was so warm.
That's what you're
That's
going to be
what
saying
he
with
said,
Pablo.
Pablo.
Pablo, you better not do me like that.
Zing. He's going to do you different kinds of
He's
ways.
gonna do you in the back like that.
Besides the point.
In the outdoor.
I'm very
In
trusting.
Out the
outdo-
indoor.
out the in the outdoor,
in the outdoor.
I'm very trusting.
which is your greatest weakness,
It is.
Mister. I
That's
built
how,
a wall.
That's how Gus happened.
What does that mean?
We don't talk about that because it upsets us.
It's an episode.
Parental
It's like
figures.
episode 32. or
There's a lot to
something.
listen to.
There's so much to listen to. We've been grinding.
We'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
Yeah, you've missed kind of a growing moment for Josh.
Did he
For
suck
both
it?
of us. No.
Oh my god.
I haven't done anything gay because I'm straight. I'll always be straight. I like whamming.
I'm not gay
You
no
can't even
more.
say women. It's just not
It's 'cause
realistic.
I'm quoting
Women.
the vine. I'm quoting. I like whamming.
You know who else quotes vines? Gay people.
So was Vine made for gay people?
Yes. I saw someone tweet. Side note. I saw someone
This
tweet.
is all just a
Side
podcast of
note.
side notes.
I saw someone tweet that Halloween's for the gays, and I was like, I never knew that, and I didn't know that gays could like claim a
They
thing
can't.
like that.
You can't.
And I was like, I don't know a
Pretty
lot of
sure,
gays that are
yeah.
like, oh my god,
Halloween
Halloween.
belongs to the Wiccans, first of all.
It's true. It's been around longer than gay people.
It's a pagan holiday.
Okay.
That was a joke. I'm sorry.
Halloween is a
Dumb.
pagan thing, and
Pagan.
Christians just celebrate it just cause.
Christians are dumb. I mean,
They
well,
are.
not that way, but like, it's like this one person when I used to go to church was like, I was like, what are you being for Halloween? And they're like, oh, we don't do it because it's like a devil's holiday. And I was
The
like,
video
oh,
of you doing the church stuff to Skillet.
why are all these people from church celebrating a devil's holiday?
I know some shit.
I know too. I'm out. I'm out for this one. You guys handle this one. You guys handle this one.
That's why she unfriended me on Facebook.
And I will do it again.
But
But
we're still friends, I think, at least.
Alex, my friend for sure.
he's leaving you hanging. Shit.
I got the tap on the bad knee.
I didn't
And
mean-
this is my last podcast, you guys. I've been called I've been called fat, I've been called chubby.
He called you fat.
I didn't call
I
you
didn't say
he and
such
fat.
thing. Now, if
It
I
was
were to
implied.
say-
I didn't call you that. I implied it.
If I were to say that you and Amanda were sisters, then it's a no. It's a whole other thing. That's
Dude.
offensive. I'm sure people could have thought that back in the
Everyone
day.
was like, are you guys sisters? And I was like, you're fucking racist. Fuck you, you stupid bitch.
Everyone thinks Josh and I are brothers. I feel complimented
Because
about
you're
that.
just white guys with faces. You
and
look
you're just
the
black.
same.
And you're just black girls. Enjoy it. Make it work.
There's a different connotation, though. Societal norms.
Amanda
and
called me
standards.
after when they were getting sued. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. When they were getting
It's over.
and then like
We're not gonna bleep it.
and then she called me because I had to like do a deposition for it because it was my shift, and she was
When
like,
the lady fell in the chair.
I was gonna say we talked about that plenty of times, so you're good.
and then the lady or then Amanda was like, hello, and I was like, who is this? And she's like, you deleted my number. And I was like, who is this? And she's like, it's Amanda. And I was,
Was it
like,
after you left
That's
the company?
well after I left.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to give a deposition if you don't work there anymore unless you're getting paid.
Doesn't
Well, I
matter.
did.
Well, you should have demanded some fucking money.
Because
Motherfucking
the lady could have sued me.
Fuck her. She wouldn't have sued
She
you.
could have. She was trying to.
Fuck
And they
her.
were like, we made a deal. Her lawyers made a deal. If you testify, we won't pursue charges on you. And I asked my friend who was in law school.
Bullshit.
I was like, can she sue me? And she was like, yeah, she can. So I was like,
'Cause you're in charge. You're
then I guess I
liable.
will be doing this deposition. So I did the deposition.
That's some bullshit.
And then my lawyer, piece of ass Beep's lawyer,
Beeps.
that fucker was on his phone the whole time. He was like, I can give you counsel. And I was like, do I need counsel? Did I do something wrong?
He's like, LOL. IRL, I'm in court right now. Hashtag saving the world.
And then he was like, well, you don't have to choose to do this, but I can't help you if you don't. And I was like, did I do something wrong? And he was like, well, no. And I was like, so then do I need it? And he's like, well, no. And I was like, well, then no. And then the whole fucking deposition, that motherfucker was on his phone. He was mad as hell because whatever counsel he wanted to give me, like, I didn't take. And I was like, all I'm supposed to do is tell the story of how some dumb bitch couldn't fucking sit on a seat. And I don't know that's my fault when I wrote in the log time and time again that these motherfuckers needed to fix it.
And I'm sitting there checking the fucking where we kept the salad dressings. She's falling down. Martine's sitting right there on his
Right there.
fucking break. Falls right into him. And you can see clear as day in the fucking
She wasn't tall enough to get on
in the
those
video.
high-waisted stools.
She was.
She was
Yeah,
just
she was.
pushing.
She was
the seat
short and
back
cannonball-y.
No, she was tall. She just had like a giant ass. Like, not in a sexy way.
That's what I'm saying. She
Just
was
like in a,
cannonball-y.
She was just pushing the seat back, and she was trying to sit down. And
She wasn't even paying. She was reading her stupid fucking audiobook on her stupid fucking.
And then she blamed everyone
tablet.
else for her misfortune.
And then she was like, it didn't have the things, which it didn't have the things. And I already told them that it didn't have the things. Sue them. And they didn't do shit because they were fucking broke because they made $1 a pizza.
I look up and she's on the ground. Martine's like, what the fuck just happened? Because he's sitting right there and she falls into
Her
him.
chair like runs into him. That was fucking ghetto.
That couldn't have been not, like, planned. Like, I'm gonna sit right next to this employee and just
It's just
eat
her
shit.
genuinely trying to get in a chair and then her genuinely
shares
fucking up.
Who shares a table like that? That's weird.
No, she was at the tall tables. He was at the short ones. And she missed the chair so bad, the chair flew into his table.
Fair enough.
LOL. That was fucking stupid. I didn't
so
even do
dumb.
the incident report because I was like, I don't know how to. I was like, you go do this.
It's because no one knows how to.
Because they
'Cause they never
train you
trained
for nothing.
us.
And I've trained people
And
on
that's
how
why
to...
we
got
don't get paid.
fired.
I trained people on how to use it. I don't fucking know how to do it either.
I was like, you just answer the questions. She was like, what are you for here? I was like, just do whatever it says.
And, even
And then the worst part was like, it says like, do they want medical attention? And I was like, just ask her if she wants medical
have to ask
attention.
them,
And then
and
the lady
then
was like, yeah. And I was like, oh,
then
here
they-
we fucking go.
then you have to go to the hospital or
Yeah.
go to HealthWorks because that's what Pizza Hut pays for. Paid for.
R.I.P. Not really.
You have to go to their paid for
Approved.
preferential healthcare provider. Hi, this person got injured on our dollar. Help them.
Help me, I'm poor.
So dumb. So dumb. All right, company.
At my current job, this person purposely slipped in like a wet floor, even with a wet floor
I have
sign.
to pee again.
Then go pee.
Me too. Ladies first.
You got him.
Got him.
Homo.
Has he peed twice before?
Of course
they have.
I've taken a shit before.
Like they're correlated? Did he pee while shitting? When you guys do that, do you do that? Do you just tuck? You know what I mean?
I don't have to worry about anything.
But you know what I mean?
It just goes. Yes.
Just, does it droop?
Push down.
If you're not like,
You push down. Yes, you push down. Yes, you push down.
do you like typically like do both?
If I'm ever pooping, yes. I've never experienced a time where I've pooped and not peed.
So you poop and then you're like,
It just happens. It's the sensation of pushing. Just it kind of all comes out.
That's horrific.
It's
In
the
the
same-
most respectful way.
You've never pooped and peed at the same time?
I don't poop. Women don't poop.
Yes, you do. That's a lie.
Women don't poop.
Norman, I broke your head again.
He's both shocked and confused.
Well, I figure if we don't have anything to talk about, we'll end it soon. Just to save the awkward silence for the audio listeners. Do you have anything else that you would like to go over?
Well, was there any questions you guys have for me? I feel like we didn't really talk about LGBT things.
Well, okay, so the things that I would like to talk about.
Up, gotta go.
The white cis male has entered the room. The Mr. Misogyny.
I'm changing your name in my phone to that.
Kind of funny, actually.
Oh, I can't hear shit. I feel like I've been in an airplane. Look.
How does it equate to airplane?
I'm all plugged
my,
up.
My ears need to pop.
I don't think they need to pop. They just,
No, they do.
well, then pop them.
There they go.
I have to put my fucking knuckles under my nostrils because of my piercing.
Your fucking uncles?
My knuckles.
Oh.
She can't close the door for shit.
Yeah, she's stupid.
It's okay. No one.
Oh, this
knows.
was the button I popped. I popped the forearm
The
button.
snap. Pop the one down here.
Yeah, that's why I didn't. That's why I didn't go around my bicep. Is
Your arms
That's
aren't
better.
that big.
I could do it. Hang on.
I don't think you can. Well,
You heard that pop though?
I heard a little tiny bitch snap.
I did it once. I could do it again, but not right now.
It's more of like an elbow pop thing.
Yeah.
If you have it on your elbow, it definitely will.
I just
pop.
realized it was like a. It's the. I didn't realize there was 3 buttons on here. That makes
Yep.
sense though.
Yep.
But that third button is what made it pop. All right.
Well, so she said we haven't asked her much about LGBT, so we should ask more about those questions. If you have anything,
I don't have anything scripted to ask her, but
no,
it's just
like
more
any
of like
curiosities about the gay community, or that.
I feel like we've definitely
LGBT.
dove into it a little bit.
She said we haven't asked much questions about that.
All right.
You fucking broke his neck again. Norman. Anyone who knows me is gonna know why this skeleton's named Norman. It's besides the point.
LGBTQ talk.
So you've been to
A
Pride.
gay
Did you go to
Pride.
Pride this year,
I
or did Pride
did.
exist this
I
year?
did. It was a
COVID Pride.
Pride. BLM protest. Pride.
But like COVID is in effect. So like, was
Right.
it the same?
It was a little different. It was a lot smaller. I don't like LA Pride. It's cost money for one.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
That
What is-
probably
what
goes
does
to
it fund?
organizations.
I don't know, the artists
Of?
that come and perform, like Kaylani performed and Tovlo performed and someone else did, but I don't remember who.
Tableau.
Those are questions you should ask yourself.
But I saw Kaylani for free in San Francisco that same year because we missed her in LA because of some stupid bitch.
Cool.
Who?
Cool.
Oh, cool.
So, what are your thoughts on LGBTQ plus?
I think they're letters.
You heard it here first. She doesn't support it. It's just letters. It means nothing.
Down with the gays.
Can you put flames in there?
No. I don't edit this.
We
shit.
don't edit this.
That's for the highlight reel. That's when I edit.
Okay.
Highlight reel coming out today, actually.
What
Really?
does that mean? What do I think? Like, what do you think of straight people?
Josh
They're
told
the
me I don't think about them. They're normal.
How did I tell you that?
Okay.
What did I say that has to do with your influence? What the fuck does that mean? What?
Danger.
You're okay. I'm an ally.
I fucking hate you.
It's okay. I'm an ally. Saves you from a burning building. It's okay. I'm an ally.
Well, what does that have to do with me telling you?
Hang on.
Please tell me.
While you were taking a shit, Josh was like, "Hey, Darian says we need to ask you more about LGBTQ plus." So I was like, hey, what about LGBTQ?
That's the worst part. That's not even a question.
Girls don't poop.
They do.
No,
What
they
if they're
don't.
transgender girls? Do you have the ability to shit and then all of a sudden you
Flames out of
forfeit
my
it?
ears this time.
Only if they're M to F, they can't poop.
Okay. Male to female.
Because only women don't poop. So if they turn from a male to a female, they can't poop anymore.
Correct.
Their-
And then if they
their
go
anus
female to
gets
male, they
removed.
learn how to poop.
Correct.
Is that why women don't like anal sex? Because they don't have an anus to poop from?
Yes.
Because they don't clean their buttholes. Well,
That
Ew,
sounds like
who
a-
are you
That
dating?
sounds like a first-hand
women with
account.
some nerdy ass
ladies and
buttholes.
gentlemen.
Those are those 5 out of 10s Josh was talking about.
You're not wrong.
Anyway, LGBTQ plus. They're
What is the plus?
it's
How
like
many different flags are there now?
I don't know all the flags because I don't keep up with the labels that I don't agree with.
But it's your society.
Well,
I think there's-
It's your community, rather.
I think there's a selective camaraderie, but a lot of like fully lesbian or fully gay people like they don't like bisexuals, and that's what I identify as typically. So it's not really my people.
Have you heard?
And also, before you go, a lot of them are still people, like we said earlier. So like, there's a lot of like racist,
Wow, people
There's
are
a lot
people.
of-
Yes.
racist, like white or Asian or whoever people, all the rest of them, who don't like black people still, whether or not they're in the LGBTQ plus community.
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 Nope.
So yeah,
I can see that. I mean, racism will always exist in anything, no matter what.
for sure. I agree. I wasn't sarcastic.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Because
Oh,
it's,
bummer.
it's taught. Racism is taught.
Yes, it
Racism
learned.
is learned. Oh my god, I was thinking about this earlier. All right, so you know how California, LA is like a city full of diversity, right? There's people who come from all over the place to come to LA. They do that thing.
It's unfortunate,
Do the damn
but
thing.
yes.
What do you mean it's unfortunate? You don't like?
Too many people fucking come to Los Angeles or California. They pollute the highways and they're like, I'm trying to make it in whatever field they're doing. It's like, first of all, fucking don't. Go somewhere else. Just leave. There's too many fucking people here. It's too expensive. You're gonna break Norman's head again. What does Norman say?
He's talking to me.
He said he agrees. There's too many people in California.
I heard that.
It's not that I hate people. I hate people, but that's a separate thing. There's just too many fucking people in California. And everyone's trying, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to be an influencer. It's like, oh, that shit don't fly. That shit don't fly.
I mean, it works for some of them.
1 out of every
1%.
100.
Is that a real statistic?
Sure.
It still equals 1%.
Can you
Wanna look
show
it
me the
up?
Carfax?
I'll show you the Carfax.
Statistics are like one of the most easily manipulated things.
Just like Colfax, my favorite street in North Hollywood.
Colfax? Where did you live in NoHo?
Fucking...
Motherfucking
So, you go on Laurel Canyon, you hit Oxnard, and starts with an N.
Darian, would you like to finish that sentence for him?
Oxnard before the street that the airport's on.
Leave me out.
Or to go to Burbank.
For sure, for sure.
Topanga? The one before that.
Sure.
I
Dude,
lived,
I don't know the streets over
I lived
there.
on Oxnard and Laurel Canyon over there.
I've been here. Went to your house one time.
It's so the light that Oxnard passes, the street just past Laurel Canyon. There's like a wing place. That's like Dave's Big Wangs or some shit.
Nice.
It's stupid.
Do you like Dave's Big
chicken
Wang?
I've never been there.
Chicken wings for dinner.
I went to that Taco Bell because there's Taco Bell on the Laurel Canyon Oxnard light.
Hell yeah.
It's 24 hours. It's cheap. I went there. What was I googling?
Statistics
The percent of
on
something
1 in 100 bitches in
coming
California
to LA.
becoming an influencer successfully.
What I was trying to say was that there's a lot of people coming into California with different perspective and views, and regardless of what you think, they're gonna find someone to mate with and breed with, and that's gonna, make someone be born in California with a different mindset or perspective. But I was thinking of like people in Texas or people in like Florida. They have a mindset, and if people breed in Florida or Texas, they have a specific mindset, and it's almost genetic at a certain point to think a certain way.
It's genetic.
Couldn't it be?
I don't think so. I don't think your brain wires those parts. I think you're taught things. And it's just so far
Based on where you live, so you
No, I don't think it's based on where you live. I think it's based on your parents, what they learned, what they decided to pick and choose to
so genetics
be part. It's not genetics.
Isn't it?
Genetics is like your ear size based off the ear size of your parents from the mixing of their chromosomes.
You don't think any opinions can be genetic?
They're all taught.
I think that's like saying if someone was like born from two people and then was like adopted and then they were like, I'm a Nazi because my parents were Nazis and it's just in my brain to be a Nazi. Like, I don't think that's how it works.
Because
But you don't
genetics
think
are like
you
physical
think it
traits.
couldn't be like that at all? No possibility. You don't think if someone was raised by two German people from the Nazi area,
But being raised by them is not the genetics. The genetics is the chromosomes and
the
shit.
being born.
The being raised by them would be like environmental factors.
So
That's not genetics.
So you don't think someone who was born with blonde hair and blue eyes and adopted couldn't be like, you know what? Fuck all of this race of people.
They could, but it's
The
not.
Jews
It's
aren't
not
that
from their
bad.
chromosomes. It's from their environmental factors. Their parents around them telling them this and that. That's not genetics.
But
That's
what
not
if their
science.
parents-
It's not indoctrined in their genes.
But what if their parents aren't around?
Then that's environmental.
So the lack of parents is the same as parents being involved.
I think the genes don't reflect what ideals are encouraged or discouraged around you.
So yes.
No, because you could have parents and you're born from Nazi parents, but they're like, we love whoever, gypsies or whatever, or a lot of groups that the Nazis killed.
Jews.
And they're like, I love gypsies. And then your fucking Nazi parents come back one day and they're like, we fucking hate them. And you're like, ugh.
My bad, I do
Mistake
too.
on my part.
My bad, bro.
Or you're like, I don't agree with you. But if you're raised by Nazi parents who are like, this is the right way, this is the wrong way, then you're going to be like, well, because especially when you're a kid, your parents say this is right and wrong. And typically, like, depending on, like, the environment you grow up in, like, you initially agree with your parents, like, understanding of things until you have other environmental factors, school and friends and playmates and stuff like that. Are like, my parents don't do that. Or my parents don't think that. Or I think this and I think that. And that's wrong because this isn't that.
Are there things you disagree with your parents on?
Yeah, totally.
So, is that the environment you grew up in, or the environment that your parents provided?
I think the environment I grew up in is both my parents' viewpoints and the viewpoints of the people in the community around me, which are not always going to coincide. Because
With your parents?
there are super, like, probably liberal people who live in really, like, red areas, or super, like Catholic and religious people who might live in, like, super liberal areas.
So are your opinions more in line with the state as opposed to your parents?
The state of California?
Yes.
I mean, California's a huge state. There's a lot of different opinions throughout the whole state.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I think that my ideals coincide with the area I grew up in?
But there's a bigger diversity of ideas out here because of the
But I think
area.
there are super liberal parts of California and super conservative parts. There are some parts that are super duper red.
And what part do you live in?
Currently, I don't really know. I don't know. I grew up, I think, in I want to say, I don't know.
Motherfucking
Well, I think the more north you go, the more kind of like 50-50 it gets.
I think the more Democratic it gets north, the more Republican, honestly.
Fucking
gets
here
south.
is
Here seems super Republican.
I would say there was not a lot of diversity where I grew up. And I don't know what that means, but I think there were a lot of ideals that tend to coincide with other people because they all kind of looked the same and were the same and similar. And I think initially I had the same mindset as a lot of those people. And I think as I've grown and experienced other things, I think it's important to move out of where you grew up. And I think I've expanded my mindset, and I don't feel like initially I had a lot of similarities with those people, and I definitely fucking don't now. Except for a special few who are also like,
Is there an answer to this question though? Because I feel like I watched Forrest Gump, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but even Forrest Gump goes maybe a little bit of both. Maybe it's a little bit of environment. Maybe it's a little bit of genetics. It's up to you to choose, though. Do you think it depends on the person really, or do you think it really is? Do you think if you were born in Texas, you'd be like, yeah, fuck black people, or
but there are people in Texas who don't feel that way because
Sure.
there are like more liberal parts of Texas.
Sure. So what I'm saying is, do you think it really is more in nature than nurture?
Yes.
I mean, I think you can grow up in a house that does not encourage being open-minded and experiencing other ideas.
It also depends on the person if they're willing to adopt other forms of stimuli rather than just
Like how you still won't meditate with me?
I did it once, it didn't do anything for me. I'll do it with you again. I'll replace this woman who flaked on you.
Damn.
Shots fired. In my research, I found that more in 2017, more people actually left California than came to California. By like 5,000.
Which is fine. Fuck them. Who cares?
More people actually went to Texas instead.
A lot of people went to Texas.
It's like not as expensive there. It's getting more expensive, but I think it's not as.
It's
And
still
I think
very cheap.
anywhere you go to, like where there's like a major city,
It's popularity, right? So if you move from California to Texas, a lot of people with money from California move to Texas. Texas realizes they can raise their prices a little bit, and it's going to be... It's like weather. The hot spots go to the cold spots rush to the hot spots, and there's a balance. It's everything moving throughout.
probably, I believe you. I don't know much about inflation for living and shit like that.
I mean, that's just the United States. Inflation doesn't really necessarily mean shit in the United States. It's just
It means
some
actually
states are cheaper.
A lot of shit. But it's beside the point.
But there are things that are more accessible in other states and cheaper.
Right.
But
Like gas.
Yeah, and Josh and I did the math. If we moved to that one place with the beer, Milwaukee,
That one place with the beer.
Is that what
Only one other state makes beer. Brews beer.
is
Chemistry.
is like really known well for making beer.
The Milwaukee Brewers. It's a
Milwaukee
baseball team.
Milwaukee Brewers, yeah.
Colorado.
No.
I mean, of
Coors
course,
Banquet.
sure. But in Milwaukee, there's another like really prominent place for brewing beer, right? And I was offered a position to go train their audio techs for the comedy club, and they said I go there, blah blah blah, etc. etc. And I was like, what if we just move there? And the houses there are super cheap. They're like a house.
$1,200, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms.
I could pay the rent for that. And
a month.
and with my current,
Get a sugar daddy.
I'll be the sugar daddy with my current rate at that
I
job.
could transfer to Target for the same amount of
People
pay.
people would transfer and they'd still demand the same amount of money.
Right.
I could pay that.
Right.
So it's like one of those things of like I could start a whole new life in a new state
Yes.
with 3 of my best friends
yes.
and just fucking figure it out there.
yes.
Get rich.
But not in California.
No, California is a really expensive state.
So
I think a lot of coastal ones are expensive that are really big too, because you pay for like the scenery and the vibes. But,
facts though, facts.
But I mean the weather too. Like there's not a lot of places you're gonna get super temperate weather the farther inland you move because water is really hard to move. It makes it hard to move the temperature one way or the other because of like the way the molecules are set up or whatever. So
high to low pressure.
for sure.
But also, the more like inland you go, the more seasons are regular. So there will be the rainy season.
Yeah, but that's because there's less water in the air.
Sure. But I mean, like, everything's more predictable. Like, out here, we don't, like, I'm sure there's a fire
We had
season.
fucking 4 heat waves over the last
But,
2
like-
months. And it was
That was
hot as fuck.
Rain's, like, I don't know.
We're not
Good
used.
luck.
We're not used to that, man.
Yeah.
For sure, the heat waves alone.
It's the Mediterranean weather that we have that fucking sucks. I mean, it's nice, the temperatures, but
It's going back to normal again now, but it's like we have
No,
heat
it's
waves over heat wave over heat wave this summer, and it's. I mean, today's like what 70, 80 degrees.
today's a good day, sure. But I'm
Today's
sure
beautiful.
it'll get hotter.
But yeah, but it's like it's been a pattern of like it'll be really nice and it'll be like 101 again.
Yeah. I think where I lived, it was like 118
Jesus.
for one heat wave. Or
Well, yeah,
AC was
you're off
broken.
Reseda, yeah.
Yeah, And then the next heat wave was like 108 or something, and I was like, God fucking bless, it's so much cooler. And I never thought I would be like, thank God it's only 108 degrees.
Yeah, dude.
That was some ghetto shit.
It's a huge difference, man. It's a huge fucking difference. And you don't understand the difference until you sit in it, you know? That's the crazy thing.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
Dry heats are the best heats.
But LGBT, I think a lot of people in the LGBT community, I think like the developmental stages you go through in your teens as a straight person, the LGBT community goes through in their 20s, because a lot of them don't have the safety or the opportunity to be their true selves in their teens, and they come out when they move out of the house in their 19s, 18s, 20s, and then that's their opportunity to really learn who you are, and you can't do that if you're not being yourself for a long time.
Do you think it'll ever reach a point to where the LGBTQ community as a whole will say, this is what we think, this is what we believe, and there will be people within that community who say, like the youth will say, you're wrong, this is the new way?
I don't know what that means. You know, I think we've said it a few times, like, people are just people. There are so many different facets of different people. In the LGBT, there's transgender people who don't believe in gay rights. There's gay people who don't believe in transgender rights.
Which shocks the fuck out of me, because I've told you this, and this is my opinion on it. How does a group of being inclusive become exclusive at a certain point?
Well, you can be transgender and not gay.
Right, because they're not, one's a gender identity and one's a sexuality. Full circle. Also, though, you have to look at, like, regular other alternate minority groups, right? Like, there's gay people who don't like immigrants or don't like black people, or there's gay men who don't like women and don't believe, like, that there's, don't believe that women have less rights. There's black men who don't believe, my brother thinks that black men are they're the minority group that has it the hardest than any other minority group ever. You know? So there's minority groups who don't see outside of their own experiences. They want understanding without having to extend it in return. And I think that's just the human experience, is like, there are going to be people who are
learning the struggle of others.
Well, there's going to be people who are not compassionate, who don't want to think outside of themselves, want to be like, boo-hoo me, and fuck you to everyone else who needs, like, I think if a lot of minority groups, like, banded together and they work together, they could overcome a lot of struggles, because they outnumber the groups in power if they just paid attention and if they wanted to make changes. I think some people, like, their idea of making changes are not realistic. They're not how you do it. I think you have to do it systematically, or systemically, I think is the proper way to say it. Like, you have to go into the system and change it, because that's what's reinforcing those struggles, and not...
You got to get into the political culture of it.
Yeah, it's not the dude at CVS who's, like, looking at you funny. Like, you got to get into, like, the court systems and shit like that,
Gotta be the lawyer, be the comic book writer, etc.
Exactly, to fight those causes. And I just think that there is always going to be differences within every community. I think that's one, how people of power keep them from being overcome. Like, if you're a small group but you keep the big group fighting amongst themselves, like, they're never gonna be smart enough to band together to overcome whatever's oppressing them.
That's super true too. And just like modern day economics, is if you look at, like, the war plan, the idea is that if you're a country amidst war, you don't have time to focus on economics, you don't have time to focus on iPhones, you don't have time to focus on technological advancements, you just have time to focus on survival. And we're beneficial in the state of the United States, to where we have iPhones and all these technological advancements, and all the wars we're fighting are off of our borders, to where we could focus on ourselves and what we really hold true and dear to ourselves, whereas other countries are fighting for essentially survival.
Right.
So it's one of those things, like, to be grateful for what we've been able to ask ourselves, and how do we give that to others. And it's, the truth is, not through war. And
I mean, I think there are also people within in our own home borders that are are fighting for survival amongst ourselves too, but it just looks different than how you expect. There's not like major bombings from other people. There's, you know, preventable like poverty and internal fighting because people are being told that they're different from others, and in reality, like they're not. And that's how you keep the order, is you keep them disorderly.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like that's what the United States is doing to the countries around the world.
But we're doing it within our own country too.
But yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. And to focus on that, what do you think of the idea of like civil war in the United States today? And do you think I heard this is a more popular take on things, that it's everything that's happening today is leading slowly to another civil war in America?
What do I think about that happening?
Just any thoughts?
I mean, I learned in my high school sophomore world history, U.S. history class, my teacher put it like pretty point blank, like war, which I don't share this idea. I don't know this. I don't know enough about it to say it, but she said like war is really good for our country because it creates jobs.
Totally. It's been totally good for our country. Yes.
For two, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that it's possible. I think there's a lot of unrest, but like I said, you know, there has to be large numbers of people that understand that they're in the same boat and they're fighting for the same thing, maybe in a different understanding of what they're fighting for. They're fighting for equality and rights and stuff, but I think they're so busy like in fighting that it's just not there yet. I don't know. I think it would be really traumatic for our society if it happened. I would hate it personally. I feel like life is like hard enough as it is, but maybe it's something that
wouldn't it be something that's necessary at some point, because civil war was fought in the United States already,
right?
So wasn't that a necessary war?
I'm not a big history person. I do think it was necessary, but I also think like the effects from that civil war, like it's not like racism is over. Realistically, it's the country that was in power is still in power. Yeah. The country that formed to fight it still technically like thrives among our normal society. You know, and that's why a lot of people find empowerment in like Confederate flags, or like nowadays like the American flag, or like
Old Betsy or whatever.
Or the American flag with like the blue line or whatever. Like I think those are kind of synonymous. Those three flags now. And I think currently the climate of our society is just it's a lot safer to be in that mindset of like Confederacy. Really? Yeah, I think they're a lot more comfortable existing out in the world, because I think if you look at people who are in power right now, like they encourage it, they normalize it, they sympathize with it.
Have you seen the movie The Social Dilemma?
Nope.
So The Social Dilemma talks about Facebook and Instagram and all the social media websites, but what they talk about mostly is how people surround themselves with ideas of their own. And they say, like, white supremacy grew because of Facebook and Instagram. Because people were able to say, etc., and it was able to connect them to people who said, etc. And that's very toxic for humankind, because there are people who search for those things with malice and ill intent, and they find other people with malice and ill intent in their hearts, and they are able to spread those things they believe, which the American ideals do not hold up. Right. It's a really good film. If I may say just real quick, it's a really good film. I highly recommend you watch it and give me your opinion on it. Just hit me up through a text or a phone call. I'm probably gonna come over to your house this week, it sounds like. So we'll talk about it, but it's not like the main part of the story, but it is central to the plot and theme. And I think that's what's happening, is there's a lot of people who are on social media saying, I believe this, and it's easy to surround yourself with people who believe the same thing. And I think I've told you this time and time again, Darian, thank you for challenging my thoughts and beliefs and just who I am as a person, And Josh, thank you for challenging my thoughts and beliefs in who I am as a person, because
Hello.
I'll say the sky is blue and you both say the sky is blue and purple, and it's like it's one of the okay, but you understand what I'm saying. It's like
It's black.
it's one of those things, like, you guys say what you think, and
I say what I know, and it's a fact.
and that's beautiful, and that's how discussions are had. Whereas I don't say the sky is blue and you go, yes, the sky is blue, yes, the sky is blue, and we all fucking agree the sky is blue, and we go, what else is the color it is?
I don't think we're gonna argue the fact that the sky is blue or not.
I think it's like a
It's
metaphor.
a dumb, yes.
Or
I know what he's
something.
trying to do, but I'm pointing out a fallacy in it.
Fair
No,
enough.
you're not pointing
But-
out a fallacy, because if it was a different context, you would be, but it's not. So you just sound dumb.
But do you see the dynamic I'm already? But do you see the dynamic I'm already painting? Is like he's saying there's a fallacy, and you're already saying there's no fallacy,
Yes, we are allowed
That-
to speak our free minds and challenge each other.
and that has been so crucial
I want
to.
to eat food.
I'm so hungry too, and that's so. It's been so crucial to who I am as a human being, growing up, and I want to say thank you both for being
You're welcome.
true to your wisdom and all that you know and all that you believe, and
Thank you, Norman. Thank you, Reggie.
all that you are
You
is
both ended up in my arms.
all that you will be, and thank you.
Josh is kissing men
It's
and
it's an
Bald
swooning over
ass
them
man.
in his arms.
it's an inanimate skeleton. God forbid.
that you
Smite-
named a man.
Smite me down. I'll tell you.
Zerp.
I'll tell you why I named him this name after the fact.
Did you kill people?
He-
Let me see the pelvis. I can tell if it's a
Maybe he
man or
did.
not.
Can you really?
Yeah, it's a man.
Sweet.
How can you
Actually, let me see.
How can you tell the difference between a man and a?
Because
and a-
kinesiology.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm asking her, not you.
You can tell because of their pelvis if it's like big enough to push a baby out of. It's the way the hips sit. That's why women have
Is
wider
that not
set
big
hips.
Not always.
No, that's because like women have wider set hips. That's why I had probably a knee injury. Is because this keeps your leg aligned straight. Fun fact.
The childbearing hips.
Which keeps more stability in your knee and less injury. Women have wider hips, so it doesn't sit straight. That's why they have more knee injuries. Science.
Really?
Now you
Thanks
ha-
for coming
now
to
you
our
have
TED Talk.
Norman. And I got Reggie.
What's up? Come here often.
I got nobody.
Just in town for the weekend. Yeah, me too. And that's what you missed on Glee.
No one watched.
Oh my god.
Look,
He's
See?
putting on a show.
That's what happens when you
Quit
talk
tripping
about
down.
Glee around Reggie. I feel like there's nothing else going on. So,
Darren, is there anything else you'd like to bring up?
is there anything you have to plug?
I think I have to plug.
Yeah. What are you passionate about?
Your
what do you got going for you?
Instagram, your morals, your beliefs. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? or
Don't
say?
follow me on
You
Instagram.
firmly believe in.
I believe in following your truth as long as it's not harmful to others. And I believe in the golden rule, treating people how you would like to be treated.
Throwing it back to kindergarten.
Try not to be a
Facts.
fucking idiot out there.
Can't relate.
You can't stop that. People
Wear
are
your
just
fucking
idiots.
mask.
No more than 3 households at Christmas.
No more than 3. I thought it was Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving or
Doesn't
Halloween.
matter. Any gathering.
Subscribe to our channel, our
It's
podcast.
not your channel. It's our
Subscribe
channel.
to our channel.
You're not a part of
Like,
it.
comment, subscribe. Tell me if you guys want me to come back. If not, fuck you. And tell them to drink pumpkin beer. Also, tell Frederick, what's his name?
Norman.
Frederick.
You just threw in Frederick. What the fuck?
Norman.
I like the name Frederick.
Okay, well, his name
Yeah.
is not Fred.
Well,
Shout out to
he's
Freddie
not-
Prinze Jr.
It's
He doesn't
Norm.
identify as a Frederick.
His name is Norm.
That's not how that works.
It is how it works.
Point
It's
to
his fucking
toes.
name. Ballerina stance.
You're going
To hell.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing at you.
How do you flip the middle finger up?
You don't. They don't have joints.
They definitely have joints.
They don't have movable
They're just not
joints.
active.
Therefore, they don't have
That's all,
joints.
folks.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for Dariane to coming out here all the way down here just to be on our show.
Thanks. It was like an hour drive.
Yeah, she got her hair did. Can't tell the difference.
It's blowing in the wind.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Please share the show if you like it. Share it with a friend.
Like,
Subscribe.
comment, subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. If you guys want us to talk about anything, sponsor our beer. 2dudes Drinking Beer.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
I'm Josh.
I was gonna say, you gotta close it with, my name is Josh. My name is Alec. Thanks for hanging out.